This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately.
It's a house! Huh?
There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
There we go. Damn music. Well, how's it going, everybody? Got a couple updates, and then we'll cover the Kylie case again. But maybe we can get some people to call in with their thoughts and whatnot. There was a press conference. We'll play that later, too. And all kinds of stuff. And thank you, Cindy Leon, for getting the show started there. Thank you. All right. Oh, and by the way, I ordered some of that barbecue sauce that you guys were talking about in Discord. That has my name on it, so I'll see if it tastes any good. And then maybe I'll call the guy up and go, "Hey, I got the same name, man. We'll have to make a deal." And then you'll see me on the show starting off with, Have you ever had a really delicious barbecue sauce with no sugar? Well, here we go. Oh god, it's gonna be freaking awesome, you know. Thanks, Eugenie. Yeah, it's going to be like... yeah, I've never done a sponsorship or anything. I always think it sounds funny, but I guess people... You got to do it, right? I mean, people do what they got to do. How dare they do a sponsorship? Thanks, Allie Cake. And Eugenie. All right, let's see. Anything else? No, not really. Have a good evening. Yeah, so later on we'll have call-in. Might be like a half hour from now. All right, when we get over to that case. I did want to play a... Hey, thanks, Sarita. Play a press conference here. You know, there's a whole bunch of these pictures that are on this one website. The actual website regarding the case. You could download some pictures that you don't see. Come on. You know, they're not out there as much as the other ones. Not sure why it's... Oh, finally, got them all shut. Kathy Freudenmaker. All right, and look at that. There's Stacy again. I see her a little bit more often now. That's good. Yeah, I know. Emmy, I'm going over it later. Thank you. Can you just let me get through my show? Thank you. All right. Here's this one little press conference I wanted to play this though because it's Grady Judd. Okay, this was a part of that big press conference that was already out there, but he talks about crime and guess what? He even mentions my city because it's a joke here in Portland, Oregon.
Thank you very much, Governor. It's truly my honor to be a Florida sheriff. And I can tell you I've done...
You know what? I swear to God, man, DeSantos and Grady Judd. Have Grady Judd be, though, the Attorney General.
Done this job my entire adult life. I remember, Governor, when the felons owned Florida. It was in the 70s and 80s. I remember that well. I was one of the cops on the street when we couldn't keep the felons locked up. We couldn't keep the criminals locked up, and they preyed on the community. And Governor, they didn't prey on the ones behind the gated communities in the $1 and $500,000 homes.
Ain't that the truth?
They preyed on what I call the real working people.
Yeah.
And then a magic thing happened. We changed the laws. We decided to hold them accountable. And Governor, it was a Democrat governor that signed the legislation that started us down the path originally to make a positive difference. Now I look around the country today. I've seen a few things. I was recently the president of the Major County Sheriffs of America. I talked to
DeSantis is a great serial killer.
and counseled
Only
with
idiots think there's something
the
wrong
sheriffs
with
from the largest jurisdictions in the entire nation, to include the Los Angeles Sheriff's Office. In fact, the sheriff there was my vice president of the association at one time. And you know what they tell me? They tell me we got a dumpster fire going on in this nation. And you know who's getting burned by this dumpster fire? The working people.
There we go.
It's not safe for people to walk the streets. The homeless aren't being looked out for. The mentally ill aren't being looked out for, and it's by the major people. Now, Governor, I know you'd be disappointed if you didn't see some cards.
Oh, yes, he always got the cards. He always has the
Let
cards.
me give you a snapshot of the people that joined Prosecutor Warren in not enforcing the law. We just want to enforce the law. It's the prosecutor in New Orleans. Per capita, it's the highest murder rate in the United States. You're going to see a common theme here in a minute. San Francisco, where businesses are closing, where they threw the prosecutor out because they weren't holding criminals accountable. Chicago, I think that speaks for itself. Los Angeles, where the sheriff told me I've got 60,000 homeless. We have criminals running wild. We have innocent people being victimized. And who's responsible there? The prosecutor, the chief prosecutor, who's allowing it to occur. He has the law, he has the tools. Baltimore, Maryland. But that's not all. Then there's one of our favorite places, Portland, Oregon.
There we go.
You can set up a chop zone there and just not let the cops come in. You know how long there'd be a chop zone in Polk County? As long as it takes me to drive back there from here.
That's right. There we go.
New York.
Got so many wacko people in here.
Seattle, Washington.
Soros.
And Washington,
Yeah, George Soros
DC.
is a
So what's
monster.
the commonality here? Just go look for yourself. Look at the data. The murders are up. Innocent people are being murdered where prosecutors don't do their job.
And guess what?
My friend Chan.
Guess what? The people who go, oh, DeSantis is shitty. They're the same ones that like that there's no law enforcement got handcuffed and got what do you call it? The defund the police. Anybody that was for defund the police is an idiot. Okay. Any of you that were out there going, yay, you're a moron. Okay. That's just the truth. Now you can go and try to make excuses about it and all that shit, but you are a moron and an idiot if you were one of the people who decided you thought it would be great to defund the police. It's absolutely, law and order is what keeps a civil society civil. All right, so these people going, oh, DeSantis, vomit face. That means you're an idiot, okay? DeSantis is absolutely does the right things, okay? And I'm sorry if you don't agree with that, but you can just do whatever the hell you want to say. But I don't have tolerance for you tonight because nobody needed to see the barf face when we're talking about this right here, because everything that's being said right here is 100% true. All right?
Buster just gave you an example. We don't have time to stand here all day. But listen, Prosecutor Warren, like the rest of us who ran for public office, we ask for your precious vote in order to enforce the law and do what was right. Then we took an oath to tell the truth, to uphold the Constitution, and to support the laws and the government. And we do that. And we're led by the greatest governor in the United States of America.
There we go. Hope he runs for president. I'd vote for him in 2 seconds.
But there are some. And it's the elected
There we
prosecutors
go.
that
There
signed
we
the
go.
papers that said they wouldn't prosecute. Not we'll evaluate it case by case. We won't prosecute. You know, they're not God. They're not the legislature. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, this is about protecting the community.
We need to have thousands and thousands and thousands of more police officers. And the reason is because we have millions more barbarians. Okay, our society is filled with people that feel entitled and think that everybody owes them everything that they get in life, and they just steal, rob. I mean, the crime rate's shooting through the roof. Roof. if you can't have a civil society with really strong law enforcement, then you're doomed. Okay, you're doomed.
We serve. This is about keeping people safe. And when you look at the highest murder rates, when you look where the quality of life is lowest, you look at the prosecutor who does not support law enforcement, who does not do what's right. Our governor does what's right. And Governor, I appreciate from the bottom of my...
Yeah, like Florida, they handled COVID absolutely perfectly. You know, it was unbelievable. They kept their economy going the entire time. They got the monoclonal antibodies up and running, and they did amazing. And that's how it should have been around the entire country. It wouldn't have shut everybody down and destroyed the economy. I mean, so the thing is he did it right. I don't know, man. It's just bizarre.
My heart. You setting the example.
The way people think, you know,
and
it drives
doing
me
the right
crazy.
thing and keeping the people safe. And the exciting thing is you not only protect the people behind the gated communities, you protect the people who clean the gates on those communities. Thank you. God bless you.
Boom. I bet you this guy loves him too. Like, he probably goes, wow, I love Grady Judd, you know. So anyways, that was amazing. And then we've also got a update, well, not really an update, but Karen Stitt murder, 1982. I think she was 15 years old. So these are there's absolutely only 2 articles that I could find from way back then. They're really short too. So here we go. Yes, hit that like button, everybody. All right, so we'll be getting to Kylie here in about probably 20 minutes. All right, let's just allow people to show up. I got the numbers on the screen and whatnot. All right, so here we go. Girl's body found bound, stabbed in Sunnyvale Alley. Isn't that the same place Buffy the Vampire Slayer? I'm just trying to. I can't remember if that was it Sunnydale or Vale.
Chewbacca?
Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
That was a good show.
Thank you for promoting sanity.
I know it sounds stupid. But
God bless our law enforcement.
yeah. Thank you. I don't know if any of you watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but it actually was pretty good. Thank you, Beth Calderon. Said, thank you for promoting sanity versus insanity. Yeah, I do. I know what reality is, and a lot of people don't. You know, that's the scary part. All right, the nude body of a blonde teenage girl bound hand and foot was found yesterday by a delivery man in Sunnyvale. Police identified the victim as Karen Stitt of Palo Alto, believed to be 16 years old. The body of the girl, who apparently had been stabbed to death, was discovered at 10:40 a.m. face up under bushes in the back alley of Woodworth Lawn and Garden Center, 861 East El Camino Real. I guess we could just see what that looked like. I'm sure it's in California as well. So 861 East El Camino Real. Not even really that far away. Is this Sunnyvale? Let me make sure it's in Sunnyvale. Oh, no, different place. Wow, you could have the same address. So probably looked different back. I don't know. It's 1982, but anyways. Let's see. Back Lawn and Garden Center at No, it's Woolworth Lawn and Garden Center. Yeah, so that's probably what that is then. Maybe. I don't know. I guess we'd have to go look back at the buildings back then. Sunnyvale Public Safety spokesman Raymond DeRossi said the body bore stab wounds in the neck and chest. She had been bound with articles of her clothing, so she was tied up with her own clothing that she was wearing. Alright, so the only other article is the following day, September 5th, 1982. So this is 1982 is when this happened, in early September. Teen girl fatally stabbed. A delivery man discovered the nude body of a 15-year-old Palo Alto girl in bushes behind a Sunnyvale restaurant, and police say Karen Ann Stitt had been stabbed to death. She went out on a date with a male acquaintance and was supposed to take the bus home, a Sunnyvale Public Safety Department officer said Friday. A brown leather purse had been blood-stained. Clothing were found near the body. Investigators said they had no theories about the circumstances of the girl's death. And then it just, poof! Not one more article in the paper. Well, here we go. Boom! Man charged in 1982 cold case murder of Palo Alto teen. Karen Stitt, 15, was raped, stabbed near a bus stop. And that's her right there. Today this would have been a really big story because she's fit all the boxes. Blonde, has the... So anyways, the search for the killer is a nearly 40-year-old case. Murder of 15-year-old Palo Alto teen who has... Let's see. Palo Alto teen has led to the arrest of a 75-year-old man from Hawaii, the Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office announced on Tuesday. Karen Stitt was last seen by her teenage boyfriend on the night of September 2nd, 1982, as she walked at night towards a Sunnyvale bus stop. Her naked body was found concealed behind a blood-stained cinder block wall the next morning. She had been sexually assaulted and stabbed 59 times. Wow, that's crazy. Just total rage. And you know what's weird about that? That she didn't even know this person. So to have that much rage on something like that, see, that's what serial killers would do, right? Karen, I wouldn't be shocked at all if this guy killed many, many people over the years. Karen had taken a bus from her home in Palo Alto to Sunnyvale to visit her 17-year-old boyfriend that evening. And all these links are in the description, by the way. And this website is paloaltoonline.com. The two met at 7-Eleven convenience store, that was the date, near the intersection of El Camino Real and Wolf Road, across the street from the Woolworth Garden Center at 861 East El Camino Real. At around 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., and then they purchased drinks, according to a court complaint filed in Santa Clara County Superior Court. They walked north to the Golfland miniature golf. Yeah, I could actually see that. Look at that. That golf thing is still there. And I wonder where those cinder block walls are then. Huh. That's funny because I could see let me go right here. Yeah, it looks like this is all different now though. But that golf center is still there. Let me go back oh yeah, here we go. So 1991, yeah, it doesn't look like that at all back then. Let me turn off 3D building. Yeah, see that? That was a totally different building back then, but that golf course is still sitting there in 1991, right there. But now look at the difference. Completely built in there. Alright. So Karen had taken a bus from her home in Palo Alto. Yeah, we had that. So let's see. They walked north of the Golfland miniature golf course, then walked several blocks northeast to Ponderosa Elementary School. Around midnight, the boyfriend walked Karen back so she could take a bus home. Worried that he would be grounded for being out after midnight, he went home after watching her walk towards the bus stop, according to the complaint. She was last seen, so just basically he had to get home and not get in trouble, so he would have stayed there had they gone to the bus stop earlier, But they went right near when he needed to be home, so he just watched her go to the bus stop, and then he took off, leaving her alone. I bet he feels absolutely guilty the rest of his life just because of that, even though he didn't really do anything wrong. You know, the reality is why should people have to care that there's barbarians? And the reason well, they're there, you know, but it's nobody's fault. I guarantee it, though, he feels guilty about that. Again, we need more law enforcement. The next morning at approximately 10:45 p.m. on September 3rd, truck driver Stephen Bound was making a delivery to the Woolworth Garden Center and saw what he believed was a nude female lying in the bushes at the base of a cinder block retaining wall along the garden center driveway about 100 yards from the bus stop. Hey, wow, thanks so much, Stacy. Yeah, Stacy's awesome. I mean, she's so, you know, I get to talk to her on the phone sometimes, and it's always great. We always talk for a long time, and she's really nice. She said, "Thank you for all the wonderful things you do, Gray. You make a positive difference for so many people, and thank you for the fantastic freaks." Well, here it comes.
Thank you for all the wonderful things you do, Gray. You've made a positive difference for so many people. And thank you to the fantastic freaks. This is like a wonderful family, and I'm so happy to be here with you all. Love you all past the stars.
See what I mean? She's so nice. It's crazy. And that's really who she is. But man, don't get on her bad side, I'll tell you that. See, there aren't very many people on her bad side. I'm just saying, there is one. And we talked about it on the show a long time ago. But let's see. All right, the next morning at approximately 10:45 on September 3rd, truck driver found her. And let's see. He contacted the garden center manager, who called the Sunnyvale Department of Public Safety. Arriving officers found Karen stabbed multiple times with her wrists bound behind her back with her shirt. Her jacket was tied around her left ankle, according to the complaint. Medical examiner Dr. Angelo Zoa determined she had been stabbed 59 times in her neck, chest, abdomen, and back. The neck stab wounds punctured Karen's larynx, trachea, and esophagus. 18 chest wounds perforated her heart, and 10 perforated her lungs. The alleged killer's blood and bodily fluid was found on Karen's body. A bloodstain alleged to be from the killer also was found on top of the cinder block wall just above her body. Kicked leaves and dirt. Karen was alive when her body was left at the scene. Wow, she stayed alive after all those stab wounds. Police had no significant leads for decades despite a lengthy investigation until receiving a tip and DNA evidence linked her alleged killer to her crime. Her boyfriend, who investigators had long considered a suspect in her murder, and that's obvious, that's just an obvious person to look at, just like that one case where the arguing couple was driving home. The girl wanted the car to stop, and she goes, "Stop the car, I'm going to walk." Now, by the way, everybody, if you're a female out there, don't do that ever. And I guarantee it, at least 60% of you, at some point when you're driving with your significant other and you were angry, you said, "Stop the car, I want out." And you just start walking alone. Well, in this case that I'm talking about, that happened, and the girl was murdered by a serial killer just after the boyfriend, she wanted to get out of the car, and then he drove home. And she was murdered by a serial killer who just happened to be driving around and picked her up out of the street. So that's my public service announcement. All right. Police had no significant leads for decades despite lengthy investigations. Sunnyvale Department of Public Safety Detective Matt Hutchinson used the tip to determine that Karen's killer was likely one of 4 brothers from Fresno. Genealogy work began in 2019, building the family tree of the perpetrator. In 2021, the genealogist identified the perpetrator as one of 4 brothers, but couldn't say which one. That's when the detectives began traditional investigative work to figure out which of the four brothers was the source of the crime scene evidence. Using newspaper notices of family obituaries, databases, and social media posts, Hutchinson located the family members through Facebook. He identified a grandchild of one of the brothers, Gary Ramirez. On April 8th of this year, the detectives obtained a sample of the grandchild's DNA. Ramirez, 75, was identified as the likely source of blood and bodily fluid left at the crime scene. The Santa Clara County District Attorney Crime Lab confirmed the identification through DNA evaluation last week. Ramirez grew up and attended high school in Fresno. He served in the U.S. Air Force in the early 1970s, and after leaving the military, he frequented or resided in the Bay Area, San Francisco, San Diego, Colorado, and Hawaii. Man, they should look up for similar crimes. This guy, there's no way in hell he just did the one. 59 stab wounds. That means there's something really deep inside you. He couldn't keep that up. He couldn't keep that inside again. I'm sure he killed somebody else. His brother Rudy Ramirez said by phone in Maui, where he also lives, that he was stunned by the arrest. I can't believe he would do that. It's unbelievable. This has all come about, he said. Yeah, so the thing is that, sometimes it just tricks people. They don't know. You got people living amongst us that are absolute barbarians. All right, so there you go. Great news. And like I always say, isn't it awesome how DNA is solving all these cases out there? And I think the best part about the whole field one of the best parts about the field of FGG, that's forensic genetic genealogy, is the fact that these killers are all these rapists and murderers from decades in the past who were careless, are all sitting around in their house shitting their pants because they know that at some point the doorbell is going to ring and they're going to get arrested. Okay, and that's one of the best parts. None of them are, even if they're free right now, are not living in peace. They're all just going, oh shit, oh god. I mean, why do you think that one guy moved to Hawaii, for God's sakes? He wanted to get as far away as possible, and now once in 2018, he's probably like, oh crap, I left my DNA at the scene. I got cuts, I got all this stuff. I know they've got that information. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Yeah, it's just awesome. 4 years of hell until he was arrested. Because 2018 is when the concept of forensic genetic genealogy became a thing in the public. All right, now we're moving on. Here we go. All right, so now we're going to do the Kylie Rodney case where, we talked about it last night. There's bunch of different Facebook groups popping up. And, they have a timeline, but I think they're kind of keeping stuff a little to them. Like, we don't really get to know where the last ping was unless they've put that out recently. There was a helicopter doing a search today, but it was way over here, so I don't really know, how that was, if that was related or not. Could have been. Took off from the same town. I actually have the, I went on to the, what's that name of that site? I'm a paid member of, Flight Radar. So I saw somebody else posted it, had the name of the helicopter, and I put it there. I put the name of the call sign of the plane in the program, and then you can load up the flights that one took, and then you can actually download the KML file and put it on the screen, and you can see it, the height and everything. Yeah, we said that last night, Rachel, on the show, if you watched it. And they have this weird timeline stuff, like she was last seen at 1:30. Well, I mean, really, who saw her at 1:30? 12:30 there was a call. Who saw her at 1:30? Okay, So I'm going to go through. Let's play the press conference. How about that? This is the press conference from today. But before we get to that, just a quick, brief sort of synopsis, I guess. She lives right here. I guess she lives here in this resort. It's like a hotel. It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at this cabins right here with her parents. I think they own it and they rent it out and so forth. Probably does pretty well, I would imagine. And then she was at a end of school party, even though school's been over for a while. But it was just a big party with 100 people there, all varying ages, but all pretty young, I guess. And this is the Prosser Family Campground. And believe it or not, somebody did a 360-degree image here. There's no street view, but this is what it looks like. People are all parked here, partying, doing whatever they're doing. And there are some images out there, videos that people took from the party. I saw the, hey, thank you so much, Mrs. Riot.
Chewbacca?
Oh, I'll do Chewbacca if you want me to.
Yeah, so apparently, like earlier today, she was at a store, it sounds like, and then at 10 o'clock at night, they get to the party, 10 something, and, she was having drinks, and one of her friends, I think her friend's name is, hold on, I have it in a different file, hold on one second. The friend's name is, I think it's Sammy Smith. Like they were at the party together, and they were supposed to drive home together. Well, I guess it was Sammy was going to get a ride with her, but then when Sammy noticed that she had been drinking too much, so she decided to get home a different way and leave Kylie there. And then they talked on the phone. So after Sammy was driving home, she called. I think it's Sammy. Yes, I said that. Hi, Bachi. Were you paying attention? So, anyways, after she called, I think it was the other way around. So Kylie called Sammy right while she was already driving home, while Sammy was on the way home with somebody else, and they said goodnight, and she said to be safe, that kind of thing, and that was it. Poof, gone off the face of the earth. Now somebody said, but that phone call was at 12:30, but then you have people saying she was last seen at 1:30. Well, who are those people? Like, I haven't seen that one yet. Okay. Let me grab this one here. Let me read through this one. I think this one has information in it. This is from the Independent. Let's go through it. A friend of missing teen Kylie Rodney has spoken about the pair's final phone call. Samantha Smith, 18, tells the Independent she was the last person to speak with 16-year-old Kylie after midnight on Saturday. So here's the thing is, people are crazy in the world when they follow the news. See right here it says, the Independent, she told the Independent she was the last person to speak with and then they go, how would she know she was the last one? Oh my God, she's the killer. And it's just nuts, she's the last phone call that was made, right? They already know that. At 12:36 a.m., she called me, and this is the last call anybody had with her, because they know that. Her phone went dead after that. I mean, it's just incredible. Like on Twitter, people are nuts. They just quickly do the conspiratorial route without even a moment of using their brain to think about something. All right, so let's just go with the reality of stuff and don't invent a controversy to make the story more interesting to you, okay? Because making it interesting to you is meaningless. Nobody cares, okay? What we care about is finding her and the answers to what actually may have happened here. At 12:36, she called me, and this is the last call anybody had with her. We said, love you, good night, get home safe, and that's the last thing we heard of her. Kylie was at a party with more than 100 teenagers and young adults at the Prosser Family Campground in Truckee, the Placer County Sheriff's Office said. Because her vehicle, a silver 2013 Honda CRV, is missing, authorities are treating the incident as a possible abduction. All right. Thanks, Candle E. Woodward Stove. A spokesperson for the sheriff's office told the Independent on Monday. Oh, hold on, let me get this one.
Chewbacca?
Received my tumbler in the mail. Oh, cool.
Received
Sweet.
my tumbler in the mail today. Thank you kindly. So,
Don't put it in the dishwasher, apparently. A spokesperson for the sheriff's office told the Independent on Monday that the department could not confirm whether Samantha was the last person to speak to Kylie. It doesn't say to, it just says speak Kylie, but said that shortly after midnight her phone was turned off. So, well, I mean, it would have had to, when you say shortly after midnight, they give the specific time. So we have this 12:36 a.m. phone call here. So it would have to be after that. So it wasn't shortly after midnight. Normally when somebody says shortly after midnight, you mean like, 12:05, 12:10, 12:12 or something, but not 12:33. That's, or 12:36. That's way, so it just makes people confused. Again, they're listening. They go, wait, that's okay. So how's that possible if her phone was turned off? How did she call at 12:36 if it was shortly after midnight? Okay, well, see, that's why wording matters. Samantha said that she arrived at the bonfire party at 9 p.m. on Friday, and Kiely was there about an hour later. Yeah, she got there around 10. We have been close friends since before, so we ended up meeting. We have been close friends since before, so we ended up meeting up with each other, sort of screaming to each other, hi. For the rest of the party, we pretty much stuck to each other, Samantha told the Independent. But as the gathering grew bigger, the teenagers went separate ways while continuing to see each other sporadically throughout the party. Okay, so this is good here. This is more information. I knew it was a big party, but it was supposed to be just the community. The party started to grow past the number of people that were supposed to be there, Samantha said. There were college kids and people from the Bay Area coming, and I got a bad feeling about it, but didn't really think much of it. Samantha said that around 11 p.m., they went to Kylie's car to charge their phones and arrange for Kylie to give her a ride home. However, she changed her mind when she saw Kylie was clearly intoxicated. So there you go, that's that part. Right now, we believe that it is an abduction case. She was in no state to drive, and she wouldn't, well, see, but here's the thing. People do drive when they're in no state to drive. It's just such a weird, like, the car's missing, therefore it's an abduction. I just, it very well could be an abduction. But how do we know that just based on that? And then saying, well, she's too drunk to drive, therefore she didn't drive. The teenagers said goodbye to each other. Let's see. Right now, we believe this is an abduction case. She was in no state to drive, and she wouldn't have made it far or would have crashed. Well, there you go. There are a couple ponds on the way home there. But you would think by now they would have checked those. So I'm assuming that they've done that. And maybe the ping information actually shows in a different direction as well. The teenagers said goodbye to each other around 12:25, but Kylie called Samantha while she was riding home with a friend. So that's interesting, right? They already said goodbye, and then the friend takes off, Samantha does, and then she actually gets called again by Kylie. Makes you wonder why is she called really? Yeah, just like at that point you're like, good night, see you later, and then you're gonna go hang out with everybody else. But I wonder if something was already kind of bothering her there as a possibility. That was the last known call Kylie made, Samantha claimed. Kylie was supposed to meet friends on Saturday morning to go on a hike, but did not show up. Police have since launched search efforts on the ground and in the air in hopes of locating the teen. Kylie is described as white, 5'7", 115 pounds, with blonde hair and hazel eyes. She has numerous piercings and jewelry, including a nose ring, and was last seen wearing green Dickies pants and a black tank top. You know what it reminds me a little bit is Allison Watterson right here, this whole thing. It's weird. Other than there's a car missing. She was described by her friend as someone who enjoys singing and meeting new people. And her personality feels like it's a little Allison Watterson-ish. She's a great singer, and she loves to go out and do things that are adventurous. She loves going on road trips. Another community search was scheduled on Monday from 10 a.m. to 11 Pacific Daylight Time at the Truckee Recreation Center. We are trying to put out more flyers and send people in little groups up and around. The Placer Sheriff's Office confirmed that the case is being investigated as an abduction and pleaded with teenagers who attended the party to come forward. We're not interested in so I mean, listen, if you're one of the teenagers that were at the party, they're not looking to get you in trouble. They just need more information to find her. So you look like, you're making yourselves look guilty by not even just coming forward. And you're not being a snitch. There's a missing person out there. You would want somebody to come forward on your behalf if you were her and were missing, right? So don't look at yourself like, oh, I'm not going to tell. Snitches get, whatever. Just do the right thing, okay? I know there's over 100 of you, and obviously a lot of you haven't come forward at this point. Obviously. Yeah. Well, let me show you the pictures. That's why I think she's a little bit like Allison Watterson. Hold on. All right, we got these pictures and, these, just sort of that free spirit kind of situation. Hey, thanks, Half Rudder.
Perfect situation for a predator.
Okay, there's
Young,
another shot.
inebriated girls.
See, she's got a
She
wide
was
range.
Convinced to let one drive her home, but he didn't. Crying face.
Yeah, well, we just said that last night, Half Rudder, the exact sentence. Yeah. Like she was at the party, maybe some guy was like, hey, can you give me a ride? I just live right over there, and her inhibitions were down. He let the person in the car, and then boom. Yeah, we said that last night. All right, here we go. So here's another picture, and that's the car out there, if anybody notices that. But great minds, I guess, Half Rudder. All right. So here we go. Then there's the car outside with the snow. And by the way, hit the, if you could, hit the like button. And also, let's see, what was it? For the people that are on, replay mode, that watch it later, thank you for watching. Make sure to hit the like button. And there's actually, after the show's over, you can help support the channel by hitting the like button, and there's even a new super thanks button down there for you guys. And that money too also goes to help support the channel and the charities at the end of the month. And we did 500 last night to NICMEC. We are at 28,000 for the year and $92,500 since January 2020. Okay, and that's from the income from the channel. So you guys help out the channel. It allows me to keep doing the shows, and then I get my, I have to pay the taxes and everything. And then out of the income, I send money in, usually over 50% of the net revenue to charities as well. So we're doing all kinds of things. It allows me to keep doing this, and it also helps the charities out tremendously because that's what I choose to do. Okay? And thank you very much, freaks. There you go. All right. Let me get back to here. All right, so that's the automobile. And see, this is what I'm saying. See, some of these remind me of Allison Watterson, with the nose rings and things like that. Hey, thanks, S Jab. Wow, very cool. Wow, that's a double cat eye right there. So there you go. That's why, can you see where I'm saying like a little Allison Watterson like right there? And then some of these, I don't know what, this must be like a festival or something. And there you go again. That's sort of more like that. Anyways, thanks so much. S Jab.
You're a good man, Gray.
Well, thank you. Okay, and then there you go again. You see how she has quite a bit different looks, you know, like they're not all the same. Right here, and there she is right there. I like this one. And she's just kind of looks like she's just thinking. Looks totally different though. So this is one of those ones where you need to make sure if she's out there and about, you know, she's got a whole bunch of different looks, you know. So which one do you pick when you're, you know, it's good to show them all so that you have a reference to be able to say, oh yeah, yeah, she looked like that in this one, and yeah, not just one look. And there she is again. Yeah. And there we go. So after I read that, let me go to the press conference now. You guys ready for this one? Because here it comes. I think what I'll do is I'll make it a larger screen, so at least you don't have to look at my ugly face over here. Oops, I gotta redo. I had to reinstall the driver again. So boom, yeah. Let me see. Okay, there we go. Should work.
Investigation will only be providing information on a certain set information and facts. We realize there will be more questions, but we're pleased directing anybody to contact our unified command center through our tip line, and we will help answer those questions as best we can. Now, for the operational and investigative side of the investigation into Kylie Rodney, I'd first like to introduce Placer County Sheriff's Detective Sergeant Scott Alford.
Hey, thanks Ken Brown for the PayPal. Thanks.
First of all, thank you everybody for coming out. This is an amazing community. We appreciate the support for the family. We appreciate everybody's concern. Just to let you know, from the investigation side on the missing persons investigation, we are working with local, state, and federal agencies. We're using every tactic we can to try to get any information that might help further our investigation. In any tip that comes in, we're taking all the tips from the tip line from any means, whether it's emailed, called in, through the conversations with kids that we met with here at the community center. Those are all being chronologically put into our tip spreadsheet, and we're addressing those, prioritizing them, and we're taking a look at every single one. So no, we don't. If you think you have information and you don't know if it's relevant, we want it. We want any information because we'll follow up on any and every lead that we can. Obviously, we have to prioritize them so that we can focus our resources. And so those who had firsthand contact with Kylie, who interacted with her near the time that she was last seen, those take priority. But we're looking at, video that people are sending in, anything. We're looking at timestamps so we can create the best timeline possible, take all that information, and we're committing all the resources we can to follow up.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to introduce Nevada County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Hack, who will be speaking more on the search and rescue efforts surrounding the search for Kylie.
Thank you. Sergeant Dennis Hack, Search and Rescue Coordinator for the Nevada County Sheriff's Office. I want to let you know at this time we have over 16 agencies involved in our search effort. In the field right now we have over...
Let me hear that guy again, man. He was fast as lightning. Let me hear that again.
Thank you. Sergeant Dennis Ack, Search and Rescue Coordinator from the Nevada County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, he said, look how fast he said his name, man, when he came in there, man. I'm just thinking, I've never heard anybody try to get that out faster than that in my life. Listen to this.
Thank you. Sergeant Dennis Ack, Search and Rescue Coordinator for the Nevada County Sheriff's Office.
Wow.
I want to let you know at this time we have over 16 agencies involved in our search effort. In the field right now, we have over 100 volunteers. Those volunteers are searching on foot. We're using canines. We're using vehicles, including motorcycles, UTVs, Jeeps, and such. We're using air assets to assist in the search, and we're also searching on the water using boats. As of this meeting right now, we've logged over 1,500 man hours in our effort. We received information on Saturday of the initiation of the missing persons report. We moved into a unified command with Prosser County and started conducting a search and rescue operation in Nevada County. Throughout Saturday and Sunday, the incident was handled by Prosser County and Nevada County. As the event expanded, we reached out to partners at the state level and also federally to assist us in the search. Search and rescue operates off of the information that we have available to us. The way that we develop that information and design our search areas and our objectives is based off of the clues that we receive from the field while we're searching. And the second way that we receive our information is through the development of the investigation. What we need is the community's help in assisting with providing that information on the investigation. And what I would encourage you to do is, if you have that information, we need the information from the community. We need you to take advantage of that tip line and provide us with additional information. Thank you.
And now we're going to have a brief comment from the FBI. I'd like to introduce Supervisory Senior Resident Agent Forrestel.
Good afternoon. The FBI has and continues to take instances where the most vulnerable in our society are victimized, and we are very happy that we're able to come alongside and partner with Prosser County Sheriff's Department, Nevada County Sheriff's Department. We've been part of the full investigative team. As of today, we had approximately 50 other agents up here helping run down some of those priority informations and leads that have come through. And we are going to continue to partner with both agencies as we see this through. So thank you for your time.
Now I'd like to introduce Placer County Sheriff's Captain Troy Sander and Nevada County Sheriff's Office Captain Sam Brown, who have both been in charge of the Unified Command since we have learned of Kylie's disappearance.
Good afternoon, everybody. Sam Brown. I'm a captain with the Nevada County Sheriff's Office. First off, I really just want to say thank you for the partnership that we've had in our unified command. Placer County is always a great partner and helps us out quite a bit and is able to help us expand in the abilities of what we can do in a situation like this. I mean, there's so many agencies to list realistically, but Truckee Police Department, CHP, the FBI, I mean, the list goes on, and we have a lot of people that are here giving support and folks in the field. Between our 100 or 150-ish law enforcement officials, we have about 100 searchers in the field and people such as yourselves that are coming out and providing all the community support. That's really what's going to be needed to help to hopefully find some clues or some solutions on where we're at and how do we move forward. I think the biggest message I can say is that we're leaving no stone unturned. We're really working as hard as we possibly can. Teams are tired, much like the family, and we're trying to do our best so that we're supporting the family. We try to meet with them regularly and make sure that they have our contact information, and we're trying to be as transparent as possible and continue on in our investigation and our search. Again, I just really want to thank everybody for the partnership, and that we're going to continue working throughout this process and hopefully come up with some positive news that we can bring back to all of you.
Thank you. Troy Sander, Placer Sheriff. We're all here for one reason, and we appreciate the community support. We care. Many of us are parents. We're involved. We're committed, and we will stay committed. I want to reiterate our relationship with Nevada County Sheriff's Office, the FBI. We really appreciate their help. They've come in to help us streamline this process, make it more efficient, make sure we're doing the right things based on best practices. So thank you very much to them. I'd also like to thank the California Highway Patrol for allowing us to house our operations center here, for one, to be close to the Truckee community, more importantly, to be close to the family. So I leave you with a point that I want everyone to know. There's a lot of information coming out there, and a lot of people are asking questions. If you have to ask yourself whether or not you should share some information about what happened, you've already answered the question.
Right.
No information is too small.
Don't think about it. Just
every
turn it
piece
in.
of information we're going to put together to build a puzzle, to continue to push forward, to allow the machine to turn. We're not going to back down. We're 100% committed, and I appreciate the community coming out here. Please keep the family in mind. Realize that when you inundate them with a lot of social media stuff that a lot of it vets out not to be true, we need you to push that information to the tip line. Let the detectives do the work. Let this family try to work through this process they're going through. So I want to appreciate, again, my partners in this endeavor, and we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Phoebe Bell with the Department of Behavioral Health will now be providing a brief comment about how her department is supporting Kylie's family and the community at large.
Hi all, Phoebe Bell. I'm the Behavioral Health Director for Nevada County, but also a Truckee resident for 30 years, and I've raised my children here too, and I am wanting to acknowledge right now how painful and hard this time is for everybody. Every single person here is here because you care about our community, about this family, about this young person, about all our young people. And in that vein, I really want to encourage us all to model for ourselves and each other how to best care for ourselves during this hard time. Please talk about how you're feeling. Acknowledge that you might be having a hard time sleeping, or that it's bringing up a lot of fear and anxiety for you. Reach out for help. We have a team of therapists here. They have orange lanyards around their neck. They're over there. They're here to talk to you and support you. Maybe you need some advice about how to talk to your young people about what's going on and how to manage your anxiety about their safety. Whatever it is that you need right now, please reach out. That's the best way we can care for ourselves in this really hard time, and how we can care for each other and care for this family and to bring Kylie home safely. Immediately after this, we will have a room in the Reck Center where therapists will be, and they'll be conducting more of a group debrief, which is a great way to work through the trauma of a time like this. And so please, if you're interested, go on in and visit that group. But again, this is the best of our community at the hardest of times for our community. Having us all come together and do everything in our power to try to help is a beautiful thing. Please heed the advice of the law enforcement professionals leading this effort. I want to call out our teen community, who has just been beyond amazing, and how they've rallied to this moment, and to encourage them to keep coming forward with their information. And take care of yourselves during this hard time. We're all here for each other.
Yeah, I don't mind somebody mentioning Adventures with a Purpose, just for future reference. Okay, I mean, what Adventures with a Purpose is doing is undisputably great stuff. So, what I don't like is when people mention other channels that I'm not interested in. You know, they're not doing anything. And you go, oh, hey, I just saw this video on so and so. All right, yeah, don't worry about it, Billy Julian. I'm just saying for future, I don't mind if somebody mentions them. I've mentioned them many times, and I think that Adventures with a Purpose is somebody that's worthy of being mentioned. Okay. All right.
We'll continue sending out any updates as we get them. We plan to send out any potential updates.
But thanks, Billy Juliana. I'm just saying, you did what you're supposed. I'd like you to do, but that was one I was like, oh wait, I'll allow that one. So that's my fault. Okay.
And additional information tomorrow morning in a press release. We can't stress this enough. Out of the 200 to 300 juveniles and young adults who were at that party at the Prosser Campground Friday evening. Somebody knows something about Kylie. We're please urging and pleading with the community to please come forward.
Yeah, come forward.
You will remain anonymous. Please contact us through our tip line. That number is 530
What are these losers doing?
581
I mean, you were there, call in.
6320, option 7.
God. And how about
Any
this?
bit of information can help.
Hey, parents of these kids, you know your kid was at the party. All right, so make them come forward if they have any information at all. You do the work. Get it out of them and get them in there. Okay, just I don't know. The parents of today, sometimes you just go, wow. I mean, when I was a kid, I'd probably be spanked until I told what would happen.
But lead us to Kylie so we can bring her home safely to her family.
AKA.
The 2 captains and the FBI will be available for any questions, should you.
Thank you, Crystal, AKA Beaver Gaming sub Crystal, the longest name in YouTube history.
Have any.
Angela, how many tips at this point have you received? I know it's the update yesterday was more than 100. Is there an update on that?
Oh, I
We
bet.
still have over 100 tips that our detectives are working through. They're exhausting every single tip and lead. Unfortunately, we still cannot locate Kylie or her vehicle. That's why we're urging anybody who was at that party that evening to please come forward. We need to find Kylie.
Angela, another question for you. Unfortunately, people in our region in Northbound go missing. It's so rare to see this incredible auto response.
All right, I'm going to turn this off. Hold on.
Ocean wave, ocean wave, ocean wave.
There you go. Thank you, Alley Cake.
Both from law enforcement and the community, how and why is this specific case receiving this response?
We want to leave no stone unturned. We take this case, just like any other missing persons case, extremely seriously.
That's part of the video, not my program.
Risk right now because she is a minor and she is missing, and we cannot locate her or
What is
her
that?
vehicle.
It's fake, man.
We
Those
want to
are
thank everybody
aliens.
who has helped us thus far, our law enforcement partners, the community, people who have come forward anonymously to try and lead us to her, and we will continue to leave no stone unturned until we bring Kylie home to her family.
Now that we have federal resources, are we able to do anything more with her cell phone and find where it came after the party? Are those resources helping?
Those details are our investigation. Unfortunately, I cannot discuss them, but please be rest assured, our detectives are doing everything in their power to try and locate Kylie.
You mind if I address that?
Sure.
I'll speak to that last question a little bit. So we are working with the FBI. Right now, the last information we have, cellular data is the 6th at 33 minutes after midnight. All of the tips, and we have over 200.
So the last cellular information was 33 minutes after midnight. That's likely the call that she made to her friend, right? Because that was right around that time. Her friend said 12:36, but it's probably more like 12:33 because they have the actual ping information. So that's when that call was made, and then it must have just gone. It's almost like right after that call, it was turned off, which is interesting to me. You kind of wonder, like, was that a call? I mean, the call itself is strange, a little bit. To me, it would make sense if the friend called Kylie to check on her, but it's odd that this girl leaves and then just moments later, or whenever it was, we don't know exactly when. I guess she was driving home at the time. Samantha was, and then Kylie calls her. That's a little bit more interesting than Samantha calling Kylie, because you would think you're at a party and you soon forget, hey, there's the other friend because you're already talking to other people. Or, maybe there's a situation where she was like allowed to make one last call. I mean, I don't really know. It's just so strange that the phone turned off right after that phone call, right?
Now that we're working, and we're getting a lot of tips that are duplicates, so that's why it's important that comes in through the tip line, so we don't have people duplicating resources. But we are looking at all that information, We're having multiple different departments look at that information with different resources,
that's right, Rebecca.
but nothing has expanded beyond that timeline at this point.
Can you talk a little bit more about in your investigation, how that's impacted your investigation with family? There were false reports last night that her vehicle had been looked.
So again, we prioritize those tips. If something comes in and it seems like a high priority, we're going to throw resources at it. We'll divert resources to address that, to check the veracity of it, and if it ends up being a false tip, I don't want to say that to discourage people from bringing information in. We don't want you necessarily to have to weigh the veracity of the tips. If you have information you think is pertinent, send it to us. A lot of people that are just focused on gathering, organizing, triaging, and disseminating resources. So allow us to deal with those tips.
We've been out to the campsite a few times, and the campers said that they saw you guys yesterday morning, today, earlier in the morning. What areas are you guys concentrating on today?
So a lot of this is going to be focused at the search and rescue effort. This is a multifaceted investigation, but so we are working in conjunction with them. But we do also have detectives working with search and rescue. Obviously, the last location known, our search expands.
I don't know. The vehicle to me isn't that weird. I mean, you say it's the weirdest part. To me, yeah, she gets in her vehicle, and she's either in a lake on the way home, or she was abducted and the vehicle was put somewhere else and the phone turned off. I mean, the vehicle could be 1,000 miles away at this point.
There, and then if we get a tip about another location, we will divert resources and work that to exhaustion. But primarily we're looking at the last
like every other case where there's a car
we're expanding
missing.
Beyond there, and we're starting with vehicles, OHVs. They're
That's
using all those resources down to foot patrols, aircraft. I mean, every resource that we can utilize, we are. No. And we are accepting video from people who are involved, so that's coming into a single source, so that team can evaluate it, look through the video.
What do you mean clarify your conversation?
Areas.
Her
We did
comments
actually
are
have
absolutely normal.
some surveillance video from a store at 6 o'clock the day before that showed Kylie, and so we have that information. But again, it doesn't expand our timeline. It doesn't really tell us anything that we didn't know, but still, it's great. It confirms a timeline that we already had. No, we've been working with the state. Currently,
that's why I think that call is interesting.
A lot of other resources.
I think it's interesting that Kylie called her, not the other way around.
That are even wider reaching than the Amber Alert system. And so we're working with multiple agencies. We've sent bulletins out to local law enforcement agencies, nationwide resources, and if the criteria is met, if we get a tip.
I mean, it could be that Kylie was calling her to make sure she made it home safe because she was the one that was supposed to give her a ride. I guess, and if that is the reason, it doesn't sound like that's what they were talking about. So I guess that's why it'd be interesting just to interview Samantha of what she remembered. But I'm not, so far there isn't anything she's saying that makes you go, oh my God, she changed her story. She did it. Just quit being the conspiracy theory wackos, everybody. When you're going over cases, just try to get the information to put together the timeline in an accurate way. And if later on something turns into something where it points to some strangeness that is proven with facts, then go down that route. But so many times you get these cases and right off the bat, there isn't enough information coming in, so the board people start insinuating strange meanings of conversations that somebody's had. Okay, it's just wild. I've seen it for years now, almost a decade. It's crazy. In covering crimes, I've been covering true crime since 2012 on the internet. With started with the Jodi Arias case. McStays all the way through the years doing different things, and really started picking up covering stuff in the last 4 or 5 years. So yeah, it is what it is. I can tell you right now, try to be one of the normal people out there.
that points us in that direction, that will meet that criteria, we're going to continue to work with the state. If that becomes appropriate, then we will utilize that resource as well.
I know it's not as entertaining.
All those resources to be able to recognize her or her vehicle at borders or any sort of location where we can track people and vehicles. Those resources are all being utilized. I don't want to speak to the exact criteria of the Amber Alert, but we're looking at the Amber Alert is a system for notification with suspected child abduction. Right now, we don't have any evidence that supports an abduction. Like we said, we're not ruling anything out, and that's why we're kind of pulling out all the stops. If this was a hiker and they were known to be in an area, that would be a search and rescue effort because we're searching a very specific area. Because we don't know, we just have that timeline, we're considering everything. So, no, but we're not ruling that or any other. We have the same fears and concerns that any of the members of the community and the family have, so we won't rule any possibility out.
So at this point, are you still investigating this as an abduction? Is that terminology correct?
No, it doesn't. The terminology is that we're just investigating this. This is a missing persons case.
And thank you, the Velvet Army. Very kind. Thank you very much. On PayPal.
This is a search and rescue effort. We are investigating using every resource under the umbrella of resources that we have access to. So what we title it is kind of irrelevant. We're doing everything.
Okay, you guys, get ready to call in.
So hundreds of teenagers here right now who may be nervous to go talk to someone like you because folks are drinking and partying and having fun. Hearing from you, what is your message for the crowd? If there's someone who knows something, if there's a fear about their future, getting into college, things like that, what's your message?
So when we spoke to a large group of the kids here at the community center, we made it clear we are not investigating their conduct that night. Okay. If you want
so
to
a lot of
report
them did show
anonymously,
up.
if you heard information from a friend and that friend doesn't want to come forward, please come forward on behalf of your friend and tell us that information. So we are not investigating you. We are partnering with you to receive any information to help find Kylie.
We're only taking 2 more questions at this time. Sir?
Can you talk about the acreage that's been covered in canvas at this point?
Unfortunately, the search is
You know what
still...
nobody asked? What's the most important question to have asked? And I would have said, where did the phone ping the last time it pinged? But nobody ever asked that one. It's just sort of like, for me, that's all I care about, right? I mean, it's like, you got to know where the last phone pinged was. They know where it was, but wouldn't it be cool if we knew? Because if it pinged 10 miles to the east, I'm not looking at the ponds anymore over by heading to their property.
Underway, and we don't want to compromise any part of the investigation, so we can't discuss that.
Have the highways leading in and out of this area also been searched just in case?
Absolutely. They've been searched on the ground and aerially from the air.
How difficult is it being...
Yeah, our vehicle's still missing.
Nevada and Prosser County, each agency works really well together because of search and rescues during when...
If they find her vehicle and she's not with the vehicle, and the circumstances look right, there's almost no way she wasn't abducted at that point. And there would probably be 2 people involved, because 2 perpetrators, because you probably would have abducted her and then dumped the car back and then needed to be picked back up again by the other person to get away from where the car was dumped. But we haven't seen that yet.
How difficult is it just being able to cross that border or finding resources to partner with such dense areas around here?
Do you guys want to answer that?
Oh, God.
I think that we're fortunate to have technology on our side in all reality to deal with some of those pieces of locating, say, a license plate and things of that nature. But in relation to Placer in Nevada County, it's been pretty fluid and things have been going pretty well on that end as far as crossing state lines and things of that nature. If you mean more like in a geographical border, we put everything in place that we can for location of the vehicle, and if there's something where somebody knows where she's at or has information, that's what we're needing to put something together. And our hope is that we'll get some sort of piece of information from doing stuff like this, and people in the community that really care and want to have some help in solving this.
We'd like to wrap up the press conference now, as we'd like to get our first responders out to continue the search for Kylie, as that remains our top priority. Both captains will be available for any additional questions. You can come up to them and speak to them if you'd like. Thank you.
God, wish I could be there. Alright, go to this one. Well, now I'm so low in my barely on the screen here. Alright. Yeah, so what we were talking about last night on the show, if you missed it, we can show you the route. So this is where the party was, and the only way out of there is on this dirt road and then down like this. And then there's two different routes. You can branch off here and come in here, but the quickest one is the blue line here. And so from the party, she would have driven like this if she was heading home, let's say. And, you know, the route you would normally take here. Ding, you know, maybe she has it kind of, I don't know how many times she's been out there to party, like how natural it would have been to do the drive. But anyways, right here, you take a right, cross over the highway here, and then you take a quick left right there, and then right at this lake. So I don't really add this lake in as a possibility just because of the way it's laid out. Like you're driving like this, I don't see the car, you know, you're going too fast and veering into the water because it doesn't work with the angle there. Okay, so you go around here, and then right in this area, I'll go down to Street View. That's where Street View ends, by the way. And it's right here. That's the road right there. So see how it just totally turns into a sort of a dirt road that's a little bit way more treacherous and bumpy. So right there, you would take a left, and you would actually be on that road regardless of the two routes. See how they both then converge right here? That's interesting that you'd have to take that and then go over here, but yeah. That should just be like one of those stop signs, I think. Anyways, you get to right here, and then it's just a dirt road. And then on the dirt road, following it around, you know, it's all pretty dangerous. I mean, you've got dirt roads, and if you're drinking and you're a little bit intoxicated here, your car could go off of here at any one of these points. You know, you come around this corner a little bit speedy, you tumble down through and then land upside down or something in this creek. But I would imagine they've had searchers check this entire creek. If they haven't by now, it's almost, you know, malpractice. It's crazy. And then you got this point right here, which is interesting because once you get here, these trees would probably block the car, but they might not. It's really steep. So you're driving, and if you just kind of go off a little bit too far to the left, your car might actually tumble down into this water right here. Yeah, but probably the one that looks in this area the most, you know, like a good chance, well, it's this one and another one. So right here, you're driving. So imagine your car, and you're going kind of quick, and you're drunk. But none of you have ever drank and drove, so you might not be able to picture this. But like you're driving right here, and you're not paying attention, and you miss that turn, and you kind of just go zooming off down here. It seems like these trees would block you, but maybe if it was more like in this area, you could actually make it into the water right here, and then your car would be in the water, and it would turn off the phone almost immediately. And it's only an 11, I think it was a 12-mile drive from the party to her house, so that would probably take, I would guess, maybe like 25 minutes, because in this area you can't drive very fast, maybe 20 minutes. And then right here's another spot you're driving, and this one here has almost no barriers in terms of trees, so you could fly down there, and then the car could be at the bottom of this pond right here. So, and this is on the way home, and you can see there's where she was living, right here. So that is the route. So by the way, everybody, the phone number is on the screen right now. Why don't you call in and try to make it so it's new people calling in, you know, but you want to call in and talk about what you think, or if you're somebody that actually is from there or has knowledge, maybe call in, because that's all I have for the remainder of the show is to have people call in and talk about it. All right? If not, we'll make it a shorter show. Maybe only go 2 hours, but normally I do 3 or 4 hour shows. So we're at 1 hour and 21 minutes. I mean, I packed a lot of information in that short amount of time, you got to admit. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's the first one. This one, no. I think it's just one of these 3 right here, if she is in there. But they may have already checked and saw, hey, nothing looks like it's gone in here, but man, why not get the sonar out and check? I just can't imagine them not have doing that already. Those are the other questions that you would ask. Hey, on that route home, there's a few ponds. Have you guys checked those ponds? And then they'd say, yes, we did have somebody go, boom, right? Then it's out of the picture, but they don't ask the questions. I always get frustrated when the reporters just kind of ask the, almost like the rotary, just the basic questions that everybody asks at every single press conference. What's the radius of the searches? Okay, great, thank you. Hey, thanks, Lake Star. Yeah, it's pretty, sometimes it's hard. You just kind of put the stuff together and see where it goes, Man, and the key is maps and everything, they make the biggest difference in cases. Everybody can sit there and go, oh, yeah, and show screenshots of text message or something, and those are all important too. It's like putting it all together, and then you can try to figure something out. Yeah, see, but why not ask, well, on the way home, like 3 miles from our home, there's a few ponds. Have you guys checked those out? They're right on the side of basically 45-degree angle cliffs into the water. Now, I'd be amazed if they hadn't, but I would bet money they have. Is that a tunnel right there? What the hell is that? Oh yeah. Is that? That's bugging me now. What the hell is that? Come on. Give me one that's, these maps, they have like these overlays. Looks like the railroad goes around and then through the mountain on a really sharp turn right there. Yeah. What do you mean DM? What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, let's go look at that then. Let's see if that's I don't think they're messaging you. Yeah, there was this helicopter footage that was over I mean this is the reservoir here, I guess. That's definitely a possibility, I guess. Yes, law enforcement's direct messaging me. Yeah. Oh, Daily Mail, okay. Cars don't appear to be cars on sonar with the first few moment. You said that yesterday. And why is that? Yeah, I mean, definitely they could be searching this lake here, I mean, if her phone went dead almost immediately after that phone call, and she got in her car and was just kind of going to head home, it'd be kind of weird because you'd have to make an effort. You'd go down here like this and then go down right in the boat ramp, and that means her car would probably be in the water somewhere around in here, you'd think. Have you guys figured out how to call in? Because you guys are supposed to be calling in right now. Let me do the... I'll make it easier for you. We'll do the invite and copy the link. I'll put this link to Zoom in here, and then I'll pin it. All right. So now it's at the top in the chat. So that makes it really easy, and you don't have to be on video or anything. There's no way to be on video anyway. So just use your audio. Yeah, why don't cars appear on sonar within the first few months? That doesn't make any sense. They're still an object in the water. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Yeah, you just have to connect your audio. I got to wait here. Hold on. Man, it was working, and then they didn't come on. No, maybe they just clicked on a link. Ooh, it's a link. I gotta click it. Man, those are the people that they're the ones that get hacked all the time. Ooh, a link. I gotta click it. Oh wait, this is to Zoom. Yeah, that's what it said. Friend said about her phone didn't have much battery life. Yeah. Yeah, so make sure to hit that subscribe button, everybody. I mean, we do cover a lot of different cases, but we'll be covering this one until we get some answers. Unless it keeps going on and on and on, then you got to switch and cover other cases because they deserve to be discussed too. Phone when she was still at the party. Well, I mean, you think it just died the second after that phone call? Lady Angel? I don't think so. Yeah, that doesn't make much sense. I mean, what are the odds? She's talking to her friend, and then it just died. Yeah. So that's really the only way to get into the reservoir, though, Susanna. You know, you'd have to drive around here and go right in the water there. I mean, I guess at any one of these, once you're down here, you could drive along the bank and go in there and whatnot. But I don't know. Maybe she got drunk and thought this was a road and just plowed down and went right into the water. I don't know. I mean, that is kind of interesting. I didn't even really think of that because this goes right to here. It's not even a hostile zone. I mean, the calling in is so easy. I don't know. When did her friend say that? What article was that in? Yeah. So you heard that. You're right. I need to see that proven somewhere. And yeah, well, I mean, it's weird. This is what I was going to be talking about. I can go over these other articles. If you have another article and you want to send it to me, just email it then. But let's try to make this one of those bigger nights so we can make up for the crappy nights, all right? So let's not get one of these. Alright, we've got that in the last 45 minutes or so. Alright, what do we got here? Hey, thanks. No, Caressa Goodwin. I just want to make sure it wasn't. Thank you. And Donna Scott. Hey, look at that. A phone rang, a phone rang, a phone rang. Hold on one second. Okay. You're on. Yeah, H, you got to unmute yourself with the *6. Hello. Who's this?
Hi. I'm Hiba Chai in your chat.
Okay, cool. What's going on?
Not much. I was wondering if you read the article where her mom says that Kylie's location was turned off.
Her location was turned off?
Yeah, so apparently it says, I sent it in the chat.
Well, what time was, well, the links don't work in the chat. I
Okay.
don't allow links in there.
Gotcha.
Because people go click on the links and they leave. I mean,
it says that her, I immediately went to my phone to find her location, and the last place that her phone showed any location for me or any of her friends was 12 o'clock the night before the party.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me wonder, like, did she turn off her like sharing location?
I mean, I don't know if it absolutely means that or not, but I mean, maybe did her parents know she was going to a party at that lake?
Yeah, she told them.
Okay.
So I mean, from what I've read.
So she didn't need to hide that.
Right.
I don't know. It's one of those things. It could mean that, right?
Yeah, because it's her friends too, not just her parents.
Everybody turned their locations off?
No, like her location stopped showing for all of her friends.
Oh, I see. So the location didn't work for all of her friends too. I mean, did it always show every time where she was? All day, every day?
If it's an iPhone, I don't know if you have an iPhone, but usually it updates. It updates like all throughout the day.
That's pretty interesting. But that would show some sort of planning, like she meant to be taking off with somebody, which is definitely something that's possible, right?
Right.
That she wanted to leave and wanted to hide where she was going to be, and then well, I don't know though. That doesn't really make a lot of sense though, because she's getting really drunk. Why would you in the car and everything?
Yeah, I feel like she could have planned that differently, but it was just weird to me that I saw that she turned off her location.
Yeah, well, I guess that's something that would have to be verified to be able to absolutely know that that's what happened. I mean, I know that she says that, maybe some of her friends, but I haven't seen, where did her friends say that too?
Well, the mom said that the friends said that it stopped showing up. So I'm assuming she asked them, she was like, hey, I can't find Kylie's location. Is it on for you guys? And I'm assuming they said no, and that's why she said that.
But even location even gives you historical for that person, like where they were 3 hours ago?
No, it doesn't. I just don't know why it would be off like the day before.
Okay, but how do those friends remember? I mean, that's weird. I mean, why would the friends remember the day before? Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen where Kylie is all day on my location finder.
Right.
I mean, did they even really look at that? I mean, how many people sit there and follow and look to see where their friends are?
Yeah.
Maybe they just wanted to join in on the, ooh, that's interesting type of thing. And well, here's the thing. When the mother was looking for her, I mean, how does the mother know that? Like, was she tracking Kylie the day before?
She said that, so when you open it, it tells you when the location was last updated. So it'll say like, this person was at X, Y, and Z 19 hours ago.
I see.
Or at 12 a.m.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that would mean like it didn't update after that.
Yeah.
What other things do you think maybe wouldn't make a watch update? Yeah.
I mean, mine will sometimes not update, but not for a whole day. She said she saw it the day before the party. So I don't know what would make it not update for 24 hours.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just wondering. I mean, they do live in the woods, but I guess there's good cell coverage out there.
Yeah. I mean, she called someone, so I'm assuming there has to have been some things.
Yeah, like when she calls, you'd think that would maybe give an update.
Exactly.
Too,
Unless she turned it off.
Yeah, right. Like it was off, but it wasn't showing where. They can probably ping the location where she was, but maybe it should have shown where she was on a location finder.
Right.
That's interesting. Anything else you got?
Just that there were some rumors going around. I think Sammy had mentioned that she had a boyfriend, but her mom clarified and said that no, she doesn't have a boyfriend. She has, I guess he's a recent ex-boyfriend, and he came back to the area and he's helping them with the search.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Those are always interesting people, though. you know, that's the thing.
Right.
He's helping with the search. He comes back, but maybe she didn't want to get back with him, and then, you know.
Right. Yeah, I don't know the circumstances, but I just thought it was interesting, and it makes me wonder. I don't want to say this, obviously I don't know, but I wonder if her and Sammy weren't, you know, as good of friends as she's portraying it to be, because she said she still has a boyfriend, and it's like maybe she didn't know they broke up since it was a recent breakup or what.
Well, one of the articles did say that they were good friends a long time ago, and then when they saw each other at this party, they were really excited, like, oh my God. So they probably aren't, you know, like they don't talk all the time.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep,
So.
but I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Well, those are interesting elements. I guess we'll just have to see if they turn out to be true, or, you know, if they're true, that's interesting that the location might have been turned off. And we don't have any proof of the rumor there that the ex came back and is helping with the search, although that might be totally true, right?
I mean, her mom said it, so
okay,
I think it's true.
Well, if her mom said it, then it's probably not a rumor anymore, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Alrighty.
Well, thanks for
Thank you
calling
so
in.
much.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, bye. Yeah. I guess I'd have to see where the mom said it, though. Oh, there we go again. Oh, boy. Yeah, you see the troll, how stupid the troll is right there, is like Chasing Truth's husband got, you know, tonight was really, he was in a hospital, and, you know, it was like a allergic reaction to something. Okay, so he's okay now, but, you know, so here we got this troll who's just out there saying stupid ass shit because that's what they do. You know, it's just, the guy is a lunatic. Oh my God. He doesn't know what he has coming now. That's the funny part. Let me go to, hold on. Just more to go. Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. There we go. Got it. All right, what did MM say? I didn't even see it. My son works very long hours. He hardly ever gets his phone full charge. His location goes off as soon as he is low battery mode. Oh, maybe that's it then. Well, I needed an explanation, another explanation. So there you go. No, she doesn't live at Donner Pass Lake. Who said she lived at Donner Pass Lake? Wow. Let me check my email. Maybe if you guys have links to other information, let me know. I had a bunch of different. Oh wait, hold on. Let this come up. Oh God. Twitter is just, they're stupid. Okay. All right, 618. 618, you're on. You got to unmute yourself with *6. Is it *6? Yeah. Hello.
Okay, it didn't work the first time I *6. Hey, this is Jenna out here in Northern California.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. So I am following this case pretty closely. This is my hiking area where this is unfolding. And when this came about, I was, just kind of following it right here locally. And they did bring up the phone. Somebody did ask it. You just couldn't hardly hear the question about pinging the phone. But the answer was so vague. It was like, we have them working on that. That was all they said on it, and didn't say anything more on it at all.
That they've been working on what? The location?
Pinging the phone. The last location of the phone. Right. So
they haven't triangulated it yet. Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what they said. That's what they said, was that they were working on it. But they were, it was so nondescript. That was really all they gave us on that. So, yeah.
Well, what else is out
there? This
there?
is a terrible area to go missing. It's just so...
Yeah.
It's so vast, and there's just so many... once you get away from the exact spot she was in, and thinking about how intoxicated she was, and you can even see in the pictures, clearly she was intoxicated.
Well, I haven't seen any pictures of her from the party or anything.
So if you see the picture of her in the black dress, that was actually taken earlier that day, dressed up, and then she changed her back out of that. So, but you can see in her face, you can go, okay, this girl, she's tipsy, right?
Yeah.
And
I can see that.
so she has this conversation with Sammy, and you're right, to your point, you said, that call seemed odd, and this is also what keeps me on that she could have been abducted or something bad like that, and it is only that last call, because in one interview Sammy said that I'm going to paraphrase this, but she said, I already told you we already talked about this. I'm leaving with so and so. I'm in the car already. And I thought, okay, so there is a chance that she was trying to let her friend know there was a problem right there, but without saying anything. Right? If she was with somebody, like somebody was saying, hey, let me give you a ride, or you're in no condition to drive, or I don't know, anything. I think that's otherwise you have to think she got in the car and she drove. And she's, but they are searching the lake by boat, the different lakes out there.
Yeah, but why not the ones on the way to her house, though, over there?
So I don't know what all lakes they are searching. I know that they have been all over, like Donner Lake, which was kind of a surprise. I thought China Bay looked like, a good place to search. But I also considered, there are houseboats around some of these lakes, and wouldn't the people in the houseboats notice that kind of a wake? You'd think that would wake anyone up, right?
Well, I don't know. Like a car just kind of
plowing into a lake.
I don't know if it was. Maybe it didn't plow in there, but it might have just went over there.
The wheel and just went off the road.
Yeah, but it could have just rolled into the water, because there's actually, the road goes all the way around, all the way to the boat ramp. So she could have actually.
There's no sign of her vehicle touching, going off the road, and there's no braking. There's no, you know what I mean?
Well, right, because it's a road all the way down to the boat ramp. It's not dirt or anything. So what if she just was drunk? What if she was just drunk and just followed the road? Hello. Maybe she was just on the road driving it to the boat ramp, staying on the boat ramp, and just went right into the water, thinking that was the road. Because then you're not going off the road. Yeah.
These things could have happened. There was somebody who tweeted on my Twitter today, on one of my posts today, who said that her daughter was there, and that her daughter said there was really only like 100 people there, and mostly they were people they knew. I don't know. And there wasn't a lot of drugs there. The only drugs we've heard about was that there was marijuana. Marijuana is legal here. It's kind of everywhere, and if there were kids that were over 21, they certainly could have brought marijuana. It wouldn't have been a big deal.
Yeah.
But if you didn't drink or smoke marijuana at all, and then you drank alcohol, both, she would have been obliviated in trying to drive.
Yeah, but my thing is they're searching the lake for a reason. So that last ping, when her phone went off, it seems like it must have pinged right there at that campground. And then because of that, they're thinking, wow, the cell phone lost, seemed to be turned off, or the signal was lost. And therefore they think it might be close to that area where maybe the car went in the water with her in it.
Right.
Right? Because why are they searching there?
The biggest fear that we all have right now is, because that's pretty much an end to this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But again, this had to have been advertised on social media.
The party?
Any weirdo could have shown up at this.
Mm-hmm.
Easy picking. There's going to be drunk high school age girls.
Mm-hmm. And that's what a lot of these psychos do, is they wait around for that one straggler, really drunk person.
And there's always one there.
Yep. There you go.
So, yeah, that's all I was going to say, was that they did ping your phone, and they are searching the lakes, but not with divers. They're searching by boat.
Yeah.
And the lakes are very, very clear here.
Yeah.
So, you really can see pretty far down.
How clear do you think those ones are on the way to their house over there? Those seem like they're not quite as clear.
The water's pretty clear here. If you're looking down, I don't know. It depends on how deep it is, honestly. I don't really go out in the middle of any of those lakes. I have a kayak, and I usually stay out as far away from boat traffic as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time I'm hiking up there, so not really even kayaking in that area. But yeah, and there's bears, so if she crashed.
Yeah?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like getting really speculative at that point. Just like in the Barry Morphew and the cougar killed his wife. Yeah.
The car is missing, and the car is the key. You would think you would see the car, and or something that shows the car was there. And as to the lady who said her daughter said there was only maybe 100 people there, and all these other things, I also wonder, what would I tell my mother if I were at that party at that age? I would downplay it. I do think it's very possible that some people from San Francisco showed up at that party, and I think that could have been very dangerous. But, not that Reno couldn't be. Also, Reno's a lot closer, though. San Francisco, that's a haul for them to be going all the way out to Truckee.
Yeah. I don't know. This is kind of one of those weird... Could be a lot of different scenarios. We just don't know.
Could be a lot of different scenarios. And really, once you get across the Nevada state line, you can get anywhere and gone fast. And the Nevada state line is just so close to there. Anyway, okay, that's all I had for you. I just thought I'd call in and give you my little bit. My dogs are...
Hey, what do you got? What do you got there? Do you got a Chihuahua?
Pomeranians.
Pomeranians. God, that was actually what I meant to say. That's what it sounds like.
They're...
Because there's...
I've little fur babies, and they own
I've had 3 of them. Pomeranians.
Oh, man.
Give them I like the lion. The lion cut looks good on them. When you get there.
Oh yeah, well one of mine has that right now.
Yeah.
But only because she keeps getting really dirty, and I was just like, I give up. she won't let me brush her. I just got her.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, hey, thanks for calling in.
For taking my
we
call.
do another show. Yeah,
Have
maybe we'll have more info to ban her back and forth.
I'm keeping close tabs on this one. So if I get anything great and you have another show, I'll give you a shout.
Or send me an email.
Have a great night.
Put it out there. All right, have a good one.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye.
All right. All right. Let's see. Hold on. Just gotta get some things in here. Gotta document some stuff, so hold on. Okay. So what's going on, everybody? We just the entire show just went to a crashing halt. It sounded like this. Yep. Call in, everybody. I need people to call in that are, there or familiar with exactly what's going on over there. That'd be great. Or we can just end the show pretty soon. Yeah. We said that last night, Gregory. But yes, the license plate is 8YUR127. Yeah, we covered it last night. But if you guys would like to help support the channel, keep us doing what we're doing, and then I donate a huge portion to charity at the end of the month, that would be great. That's just what we do here, because we make a difference. I don't know, a lot of you probably are new, but last year, probably our, like we always say, we have 2 or 3 FGG, forensic genetic genealogy cases underway, but we funded one that was 60 years old where we they had exhumed the body, and then we paid for the entire forensic genetic genealogy to determine who he was, and Identifiers International figured it out, and boom, we actually gave the name back to a kid that was killed as a hitchhiker. A car went off a bridge in 1961 in Alabama, and he wasn't identified for 60 years. So we got $8,000, because at the end of each month I donate a huge amount of money to various charities, and we also have a DNA fund that has $20,000 in it right now, and we've probably spent like 15, so we've had 35 into it total. Yeah, it's been amazing, really. It's probably the greatest feeling we'd ever get. So if you guys want to we're still doing it. Like this last month we sent 2,000 in, a couple months before that, a couple thousand. And we're just building it up and building it up and building it up, so that when these cases come about, they're even criminal cases. We have one where we're testing a cigarette butt. Hey, thanks, Freebird Forever. Testing a cigarette butt in a case, and they have genetic material on it, so we'll see where that goes. That one's more of a fishing expedition, because it doesn't necessarily point directly at a person, but could be, somebody that would know something.
Chewbacca? I'll be Chewbacca.
Thanks, Jiggy England. And Freebird Forever. Yeah. So, we make a difference. Not only do we cover cases that are unknown, and sometimes, this one, it seems like it's getting bigger and bigger. It'll probably get really big at some point if it continues on, but the way to keep it going would be to people need to keep adding new information to it, so that's how you get it something really big, and then you can get answers. But a lot of times we just cover cases that nobody's talked about in decades. That's like 50% of what we do is cases that have been long forgotten. And you go back, you find the old newspaper articles, and you go back over it, and you get it back out there again. And it's always amazing when the family members send you an email and they say, "God, thank you so much, man. Nobody's talked about our case for so many years," and and it's a good feeling there too. So we try to make a difference in missing persons cases, cold cases, and we definitely make a difference in terms of the funding that this channel sends in based off the generosity of the freaks to all of the charities out there. I don't know if you guys have heard of, but so far, I'll just tell you, this year we've donated. Texas EquiSearch has 5,000, Innocence Project 1,025, Wounded Blue Fund 500, SpecialOps.org 600, RAIN, which is Violence Against Women, 4,221, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children 5,165, End the Backlog, Testing Backlogs of Rape Kits 500, NCVC 500, and the DNA Fund this year 10,500. That costs a lot of money. So there you go. Thank you, classical guitarist. All right, so who's calling in next about this one? All right, let's do it.
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll do Chewbacca if you want me to.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, who's calling in?
Did you hear what I said?
Huh?
There you go. So you hear a lot of people out there complain like, you don't give enough, Gray, you don't give it. Well, how much did you give? Well, nothing, but, you know, their channel. It's amazing. They're just psychos, you know. So it is what it is. If you want to donate directly to charities, go ahead. On this channel, people support the channel, and from the income from the channel, I donate a ton of it to charity. That's all it is. I do make an income on YouTube because I spend 3-4 hours a night and hours during the day putting shows together to do on a daily basis. 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Yeah, all right. I mean, you should see, you know the video that I put out yesterday about with Kelsey in it talking? You should see the lunatic comments under that 2-minute video. It just, I almost just want to, I'll show one of them. Let me show you one. Okay, hold on a second. Since you guys nobody's calling in or wanting to discuss it, I'm not just going to invent something to talk about.
Confirming.
All right. So look at this comment that's Lunatic made. True crime design, just a whack job. Listen to this. She said, but alas, Kelsey was the biggest troll of them all. Let today be the day that the lying, manipulation, and exploitation finally comes to an end. And then I said, you're an embarrassment, but you know that, right? And she said, you should probably research the facts of this case some more. If you truly believe they aren't involved, but we both know that you're not interested in the facts, I wonder if you'll change your tune when they're arrested. And it says, I don't blame you, though. I'd be panicking and nervous if I were you, too. And I said, I went, LOL. I'm not panicking at all. I can't wait for the case to be solved and for absolute jokes like yourself to get embarrassed, and that will happen. All of you idiots seem to think the freaks, and then I said, think the freaks only support me, because she put a little money thing at the end of it. You think the freaks only support my channel when I cover the Delphi case. There are months when I don't talk about it, and the channel does the same. You are all so delusional, it's actually scary. All right, so there you go. I mean, can you believe that? Like, that's this person's accusing, for those of you who don't know, in the Abby and Libby murder case out of Delphi, Indiana, the sister has been an advocate for years. This lunatic actually believes that she has something to do with the murder. It's the craziest shit you've ever seen. Yeah. Okay, so we'll just do a recap here. You know, she lives right here at this beautiful like hotel, I guess, in the middle of the woods. The distance to drive to the lake is 12.1 miles from there, but she could have gone into the town first. Apparently she was in town at like 6. Maybe she was drinking early, who knows. But she actually got to the party at 10. But I want to know what she was doing between 6 and 10. That might be an interesting part of the story. Like, where was she? Was she at home, or was she hanging out with some other friends? What was she doing at that point? And then she goes to the party. Her friend got there at 9. She got there at 10. And they hung out together for a couple hours, and then she was going to drive her friend home. So I guess they just sort of decided there that she was going to give her a ride home. And then the friend, Samantha, noticed that she was too drunk to really be driving. So, said, I'll get a ride a different way. And she did get a ride a different way. And on the way back, that's when Kylie actually called her on the phone, which is odd, you know. Normally the other way around. It called her on the phone, and we don't really know precisely what was said. You know, it'd be great to get her on and really just kind of get it all completely dialed in. I don't think there's any inconsistencies or any weirdness or anything like that. I just like to have as much information as possible. And then she, you know, that was around 12:33 was the last known ping, and then her phone goes dead. You know, I guess going underwater might create that illusion. And then also, yeah, because the thing is, if your phone was totally on, the windows were shut, and you could breathe, but you're 20 feet underwater, there's no signal that's getting out of there. It's not changing that much. Come on, Gregory. You're already trying to create the conspiracy stuff. Let's see. Yeah, explain. Okay, type it in, Gregory. Where have the stories changed? Type in all the different things that have changed. And it better not just be a tiny little nuance. It better be a material, huge difference. Yeah, she's 18. Right, she's 2 years older, I guess, than Kylie, right?
We're here at the Truckee Recreation Center. This is just off Donner Pass Road, and this is really serving as the central hub for friends, family, and loved ones who are looking for Kylie. So I want you to take a look at what's happening right now. Throughout the day, we have seen detectives here as well, and community members have been being dispatched throughout the day to look for that teen.
Need you to be looking out for Kylie and Kylie's car.
Right now.
Is anybody willing to go to Reno? And maybe Midtown? Yeah, perfect.
The search is on for 16-year-old Kylie Rodney. She was reported missing Saturday morning after she didn't come home from a party.
Asked her to wake me up.
So that's at the lake, right? So maybe she didn't make it to the party, but was hanging out at the lake.
When she got home, like she always does, and she said okay and thank.
Was reported missing.
Yeah, I bet you that's right down here. And then it's just kind of, well, maybe not, because, well, it's hard to tell how far that land is. See, the angle of this camera, that land back there could be really long, which would match that, so it could be kind of like at an angle like this. I don't know, though. That looks different. But I bet it is this lake, don't you think? Yeah, we know, SD. Yeah, we know exactly where the party was right here. They actually showed the pictures in the woods at the Prosser Family Campground. So I'm trying to figure out where the... Well, but even if a phone's waterproof and it's underwater, it doesn't ping. It's done. It doesn't send a signal out. Yeah, let me just keep playing this. Maybe it'll look different.
Saturday morning after she didn't come home. Right now.
Is anybody willing to go to Reno? And maybe Midtown? Yeah, perfect.
The search is on for 16-year-old Kylie Rodney. She was reported missing Saturday morning after she didn't come home from a party.
Asked her to wake me up when she got home, like she always does, and she said okay and thanks, Mama, love you.
I'm just trying to see where that picture was taken.
And that's the last I ever heard from her.
Sammy Smith, one of Kylie's good friends, is organizing crews of community members who are looking for the teen across the Tahoe region.
Glenshire.
These flyers are posted in neighborhoods, downtown Truckee, and at campsites.
So this is where everybody's hanging out. Kylie and I were meeting up right here a lot.
Local young people call this open area near the Prosser Family Campground the Sanctuary. It's a common place for parties. Sammy says she was here.
Yeah, but see what you just wrote there, Gregory. We can't read your mind, so you said, Samantha also said originally she and Kylie weren't approached by older guys. Later, she said they were offered bong hits with the third girl. Well, what does that have to do with the prior sentence there? You know, it's like it just doesn't, I need to have full sentences, right? Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of times people don't want to think that people would drink and drive. Yeah. That's what they all said in the articles. Well, she was too drunk, so there's no way she was driving. For law enforcement to tell if the phone was powered down. Yeah, there might be technicalities like that. But you didn't offer anything that showed how it did change, Gregory. I read your comments. You know, it doesn't do anything. Say what was said first, and then say what was changed. Then do the next one. Say what was said, and then what was changed. That's how it works. I'm reading your comments. They don't make any sense in terms of trying to explain anything. Okay? She originally said Kylie would never drink and drive. Okay, okay. And then later she said Kylie was too drunk to drive. Okay, so what? Right. Right. She was too drunk to drive. Yeah. I mean, those are such minor little sort of nuances. They're absolutely meaningless. It doesn't mean anything. Samantha also said originally she and Kylie weren't approached by older guys. Okay. And then I'm thinking the next one's going to be that she was approached by some older guys. Well, no, it says later she said they were offered bong hits with a third girl, which has nothing to do with being approached by older guys. And then, you know, so that's what I'm trying to say. I need it to be more organized, what you're typing in, because right now it doesn't sell anything. Thank you for everything you do, Gray. I'm so appreciative of you and your adorable pups and family. Oh, thank you so much, Sophie, and thanks for letting me see that. Billy Giuliani, I probably would have missed it. It's a nice comment. I haven't had the dogs on the screen much lately, though. All right, let's go back with the...
Here with Kylie Friday night, along with tons of other high school and college. Prosser Family Campground, the Sanctuary. It's a common place for parties. Sammy says she was here with Kylie Friday night, along with tons of other high school and college kids from the Bay Area all the way to Nevada.
Right now our estimate is about 200 to 250, maybe more.
What she and Kylie's family want to know is how no one saw her leave in her silver Honda CRV. Her car is still missing.
I can't believe it. There has to have been one person. There are people sitting in cars. There are people everywhere around this place.
She and detectives are begging for people.
Yeah, I don't have any suspicion at all of Samantha. Okay, there's nothing to the level where you go, oh my God, holy crap! How could something like that? You know, it's just.
Who were at this party to come forward.
Thanks, Tiffany,
Kylie's mom needs answers.
My head is all over the place, and I'm terrified. Bad thoughts are very strong and hard to keep at bay. But I'm trying to hold out hope, you know, that we'll find her, that she'll come home.
Chewbacca?
Hey, there's
Now, I just spoke with the Placer County Sheriff's Office. They said something that's been really tough with this case is that because so many people at this party were...
No, it's not, Gregory, because they're not little tiny things. They're just like, man, she would never drink and drive. She was too drunk to drive. That's just you looking for a nuance to try to spin it onto her. You're going to be wrong. It has nothing to do with her, okay? All right, here we go.
Minors and were underage drinking and doing drugs, that a lot of people haven't come forward. We do want to remind you that a tip line has been set up by the Sheriff's Office. You can see that number.
Yeah, and it's also being reported in the paper, so we don't really know exactly how she worded stuff, because Daily Mail gets things wrong all the time in quotes, and something like, she doesn't drink and drive and she's too drunk to drive, that's just another sentence. Like, you're just saying, wow, she's too drunk to drive. Well, that means she wasn't going to drive. It's the same thing. But you want to nuance it to turn it into something big. It's wild. And of course, when you're kids, you're not really wanting to talk about various, like, oh my God, there was, you know, we started smoking dope and we did cocaine and we did all this, you know. Oh well. Jeez, forget it.
Number at the bottom of your screen right now. When you call, make sure you select option 7. We also have this phone number posted right now on KCRA.com. We're live in Truckee. Brittany Hope, KCRA 3 News.
So, Brittany, we know the Placer County Sheriff's Office is investigating this as an abduction. Why, if no one thus far has said that they saw anything, why are they investigating this as an abduction?
Lisa, the only reason they are giving me right now is just because they have not yet found her car. Now, when I asked the Placer County Sheriff's Office when they upgraded this to an abduction, they did say they are still considering other leads and possibilities that could include an accident, or maybe she just ran away.
All right, Brittany Hope with the very latest for us on this search for this missing teen. Thank you.
Yeah. Hold on.
We're here at the Truckee Recreation Center. This is just off Donner Pass Road, and this is really serving as the central hub for friends, family, and loved ones who are looking for Kylie. So I want you to take a look at what's happening right now. Throughout the day, we have seen detectives here as well, and community members have been being dispatched throughout the day to look for that teen.
Need you to be looking out.
All right, what's the next one here? These are all in the description if you want to go check them out. I think that was that same press conference. These are all the people that were there. That's a lot of people, man. There was little new information in the search for the 16-year-old who was last seen at Prosser Family Campground. Because we don't know, we just have that timeline. We are considering everything. He said the case is being investigated as a possible missing person. The last time Kylie's cell phone was on was 12:33, and that's probably when she called that friend. But then remember the paper said 12:36, which is a really specific time, but apparently that, you know, maybe that phone was off by 3 minutes. I don't know. Must have been a short phone call too. An Amber alert has also not been sent out on Kylie. Afford said other methods are being used to get information out to Kylie, and her car could be identified. So Kylie and her car could be identified. Her family has questioned why it can't be used in the case. Well, usually because you're looking for... I mean, it is interesting. I mean, why can't you do that? You know? Like, why does it have to be... Yeah, that's strange, because usually it's like an abduction, but another person's vehicle. But if you're abducted in your own vehicle and you think that, then put the damn thing out. How could that hurt? You know, here's the thing is, how could it hurt to put out an Amber Alert on this case? It couldn't, right? So why not do it and err on the side of, like, you know, giving it a shot? If you think you have information and you don't think it's relevant, we want it, Afford said. Kylie graduated in June from Forest Charter School, a public school in Truckee. So she was pretty young. She must have been pretty smart. Yeah, there it is, an honors student. I mean, you graduated at 16. And look at that, an honors student. She graduated early after skipping a grade and plans to study music in the fall at Sierra College. That's good. I mean, it's good that she's smart like that. You know, maybe there's something else going on here. I mean, that's like genius level shit when you start skipping school and, I mean, years. And I don't want you to go, I skipped school too. I skipped a year too, Greg, because I was not interested. What I'm talking about is this one right here. She graduated early. So maybe there's some other plan going on out there. I mean, that's pretty, somebody that smart. You know, it makes it a little bit more intriguing on that aspect of it, right? Who knows at this point? I'd like to talk to her for sure. Samantha, if you're out there, feel free to hit that link and call in. Maybe we can get the information, you know, right from your mouth and get it really accurately portrayed. Let's see. But what was supposed to be a goodbye send-off of a few dozen kids under the pine trees turned out to be a party of 200 to 300 teenagers. Yeah, that does make it, starts adding more chips into the, something nefarious happening. Her friends say kids from Reno, and there could have been people from out of town knowing that they wouldn't really be recognized. And maybe two guys showed up in a car, and I mean, this is like a classic situation like this. Two guys show up in a car, and one of them, I mean, that would have been an interesting technique, like one of them said, "Hey, can I get a ride back into town? I need a ride." Then as soon as they get in the car, they abduct her and they take her somewhere, and the other car follows, and then they put her car somewhere with her and then get back in the other car and take off, because it seems like two people might be involved in this one if she was abducted. I'm still leaning towards her car and her went into the water somewhere. But that's about it for my thoughts. If cars in the water at the ramp site would have already been found, yeah, I mean, I'm sure they looked right there, right? Well, they said that they didn't do it because it didn't fit the rules, I guess. So Kylie was in good spirits and having fun that night. Well, what was supposed to be a goodbye send-off of a few dozen kids, 200 to 300 kids. She was last seen sometime around 12:30. So those articles that said 1:30 are totally bogus. Isn't that weird? She's last seen right as she's calling the friend, right? So she's calling the friend, and, I guess we don't really, so it's at 12:30, she's calling the friend. Then, like right at that moment is when something happened. So that's interesting too, that she called the friend, and then all of a sudden the phone goes dead right as she is contacting the friend, basically. Almost like right after the call, I don't know. And she turns off the phone. I could do something. All right, here we go. I'll do a poll. Hold on a second. Well, I guess I wish I could do a third. Actually I can over here. Hold on a second. Let me cancel this thing here. Okay. There you go. There's your questions, everybody. Start answering. Don't forget to subscribe, everybody, and hit that like button. You want to make sure you catch the updates or other cases that we talk about. Thank you, Lanky Tor. How many miles between 12.1?
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll do Chewbacca if you want me.
I mean, 12 miles is pretty far away, just in terms of, you know, like 12 miles, right? But driving, it doesn't take long. I think in her case, it might have been probably taken 25 minutes, maybe. Given the dirt roads and just general, it's not like you can go 70 or something. Is okay and merely ran away. Abduction, nefarious act. So we got drove into the water while drunk is number 1. Yeah, the first two. You got to pick one. H-Doc, you got to pick one. Which one is it? Yeah, it's got the slightest nod. That's just it, Gray. They're exactly the same. I don't know. If it was misty or foggy, no idea. Probably not. I don't know. So you drove in the water. No, I honestly don't care. That's you see, the problem is you're one of those people that don't show up until later, and you don't really pay attention, right? So, you know, the reason people think that is because there's other water areas. For example, on the way home here, for the 17 millionth time, after you get to the dirt road right here, you take a left and drive down here like this. And if she was intoxicated, right here you got these very steep banks that maybe the car rolled in at a particular point and rolled into the water, or even went down right in this area somehow, or around this corner, maybe went into this pond. We just don't know, okay? So those are definitely possibilities. I haven't heard that they searched there yet. Maybe they, because the last ping was over at the lake over here, they didn't search those other ponds yet. Right. And that's just that's what most people think. But I bet you if you could rate them, people would say, you know, they wouldn't be shocked at all if it was number 2. Number 3 is obviously the least likely, but, you know, given the fact that she's highly intelligent, maybe something else is going on there. I would think, you know, the best odds are that her car was driven into a water because she was highly intoxicated while driving and the phone lost signal. But not far behind is that there's 200 people, all these random people from out of town at the party, and she's drunk and somebody took advantage of her and tricked her to her car and drove away, and I think there's 2 people involved in that scenario. And then where her car is, it could be anywhere. Her car could be within, you know, 600 miles away at this point. Yeah. How about we'll do something like this? I'll put up a few of these circles. I'm going to guess, you know, if she was abducted and the car put somewhere, I'm going to go like this. And they must have, maybe they would have turned her phone off. There's no lake there though. And then maybe over in this direction, you know, something like if she actually was in her car with nobody else around, I would say something like, hold on. Oh, I guess that didn't work. So where was that? Right here. I'm just thinking there's these roads that, you know, you were driven out, you wouldn't want to go in town with her. So you might have taken some of these other dirt roads, and that's why I'm thinking, how about we'll just go like this, in that area. I know it's probably pretty big, but something like that, and then another spot, maybe down. Yeah, Like right in there or something. There you go. That's just total guessing, but I'm just looking at these. You leave here, the campground. Would you really want to start driving back into town if you abducted somebody, or would you want to go up one of these side roads over here and wind up in here? Maybe it's over here where the car is, or maybe in this lake. But I don't think if she was abducted, I doubt they would drive back into town. Is what I'm saying. So I'm gonna stick with that, and we'll see what happens later. Might be totally different. They could be 700 miles away at this point. But here's the thing, is anybody at that party probably lives within 100 miles maximum, right? So it's unlikely that if they did abduct her, that they would have taken her body in the car 800 miles away, right? It's going to be somewhere, either on the way and then off the beaten track to where they live, or in the complete opposite direction, then get a ride and go the other direction. Yeah. Yeah, but there's a whole bunch of things. I mean, this is just sort of, off of experience covering these types of things right here, but could be, I can't assign a percentage of likeliness of it. It's just what I was thinking right then. I don't think any of this land in here makes a lot of sense, but it could be this Donner Lake. Oh, is that the lake that they were saying that was searched? That's the lake, right? Not this lake. Hey, Susanna, are you still there? Didn't you say Donner Lake? So it's this one, right? Well, that's interesting. Because that's the one at the turn. There's a smaller one right here. Or Susanna is what I meant. No, she said Prosser Lake? Okay, not Donner Lake? Okay. I mean, I guess that could be one that you would search, but man, how would you get in there? That would be an intentional dump. I'm looking for places that she either went in by herself because she was drunk, or a place that looks likely that if she was abducted, a direction that you would go. Like, here's the party. They obviously are going to check this whole lake. It's not big, it's not a big lake there. Now, what's yours? I honestly don't care. How about you just type in yours? The three things that I think are possible are, in order of likeliness, are being intoxicated, or her car drove somewhere, went into the water, and she probably drowned, and the phone quit sending signals. The second one is that she was abducted, and her phone was turned off almost immediately, and she either could be alive or she was killed in the car dumped somewhere. The third one is that she's highly intelligent and orchestrated an event to leave the area with somebody. Or maybe she chose to leave with somebody and they turned out to be a nefarious actor after that. We don't know, but that's kind of where I have it in order of likeliness. And that's me not having the information that law enforcement have. They might have more specific information about the ping data. All right, guys, hit that subscribe button. We got to get that up to 75.5. We got 6 more to go. It's not hard. You just hit the button. If you hate it, then don't ever come back. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to be a different person because you didn't like it. Let's put it that way. Well, she was drunk, Wishing Bee, so she could have. Somebody else could have been there and said, "Hey, yeah, that could have been it. I'll drive you home. My friend will follow." Wouldn't that be a crazy trick? Oh, you seem kind of drunk. Tell you what, I'll drive you home. My friend will follow, and then he can give me a ride back home. And being intoxicated, her smartness wore off, and that didn't work, I guess. Right, well, that's one of the ones that we put up there. That's the second choice there. I honestly don't care. Did you see that? All right, so let me end the poll. $152 votes. Drove into the water drunk, 57. Abduction, Nefarious Act, 37. Is okay and merely ran away, 5%. Hey, cool. That's how the shows always are. Here's the thing, though, on this channel, I'm not a sensationalistic channel, so I don't get the same algorithm hits, you know, like, I'm not going to have a show most of the time with like 1,500 people unless it's like breaking news on some crazy story. And, you know, here's the thing is I wish more people were interested in actual true crime where you're trying to figure something out and put the pieces together. The reality is most people are interested in drama and sort of the sensationalistic view of everything. And whenever there's somebody, ooh, and they cater to all the conspiracy theories and all that stuff, they always do so much better. And it's actually a sad phenomenon because people like me who actually go out and try to make a difference and work hard, you know, a lot of times you get just absolutely ignored. You know, it's pretty wild, pretty wild. But that's okay. I have been on, you know, a couple podcasts. I was on a TV. What was the show? Twice I was on Court TV recently for a case, missing person in, I think it was Nevada, northern Nevada. And I was on there twice for that. We were doing some cool stuff on that one. That was one of, you know, that case right there is one of my better ones, even though it was short. Because I actually used a 3D program that I have that has weather and was able to determine the time of a surveillance camera shot that the police obviously had, but the public didn't. And then we were able to put together a different timeline that was previously available. Man. Yeah, Naomi Irion, yep. You should go back and watch the ones I did on that one. I forgot what DM means again. Just type in the whole word, you know. Yeah, Donner Lake's kind of out of the way, though. Oh, Daily Mail. Okay. Yeah, I can't see your attachment, Zozo. You have to just do a screenshot and put it there. I can't see it. You had Prosser? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what she's talking about. Zozo said she sent me something, but it's not there. Okay, hold on. Can anyone rule this out? 2 days ago on the Neighbors app, At 1 a.m., a topless... Oh, yeah, we read that one earlier. Yeah. I mean, I didn't read it on the air. I read it in a different place. A topless female was being chased 2 days ago on the Neighbors app. At 1 a.m., a topless female was being chased by a Honda CRV and was pulled back into the vehicle in Sacramento, California. 1 hour and 38-minute drive. Yep, I looked that up too. Kylie drives a Honda CRV, so, I mean... You know, something like that is always possible. You know. Her tank top was possibly found at the scene. You know, geez, forget that. You know, when they say that kind of stuff, when you start adding in tank top possibly found, you know, come on, give me a break. Yeah. So I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. Yeah, well, it was 2 nights ago, so it could have been... what day did she go missing here? Yeah, that's one of the things I was looking at. When I read it earlier in the day, it said something about... let's see. It seemed like it was the same day when I was reading the same post earlier. What day did she go missing? August 6th. Okay, so it would have been the next day, and they're driving around, and she runs out of the CRV. And yeah, I guess anything's possible. I'm not going to spend time on it because, you know, what do you do with that information? Hey, LM. Have a good one. But thanks, Zozo. Yeah, I saw that earlier in the day. I just didn't bring it up because it's one of those things where it's interesting, but it's just total, you know, rumor kind of stuff. Hold on, what's this one? Oh, okay, is this her? All right. Let's see. Detectives have located surveillance footage. This is sent by Amanda here. Detectives have located surveillance video from a local business in Truckee where Kylie was spotted on August 5th at 6:08. So, like, she went missing, but it was really early in the morning on the 6th. So, you know, like 12:30 and later. So this is just earlier in the evening. That's how I like to look at it. And instead of saying, well, that was the day before. No, not really. It's really the same day, right? I mean, that's how people look at stuff. When you go out partying, right, and you leave at like 8 and you get home, you can think, well, that was 2 different days, right? You just say, yeah, that we went partying yesterday, right? So anyways, this is at 6:08 in the evening prior to her going missing. Kylie was last seen wearing a black spaghetti strap body suit, green Dickies ran pants with a black grommet belt and black Vans shoes. We continue to search for information. So that's actually the sheriff putting that out there. That's pretty cool. That was 2 hours ago. I wonder, it almost looks like, what's she doing? She got a big smile. Like, I don't know what she's doing in the picture. Okay. I mean, if you guys want me to, I'll read more. Let me just read that whole thing. So the thing that came in about somebody in Sacramento just says, the only reason it's interesting is because there's a CRV. That's it. Like, if there was no CRV, it wouldn't be interesting. CRVs, though, happen to be really common. But it says, can anyone rule this out? Two days ago on the Neighbors app at 1 a.m., a topless female was being chased by a Honda CRV and was pulled back into the vehicle in Sacramento, California. 1 hour and 38 minutes after the Prosser, away from the Prosser campground. Kylie drives a Honda CRV. Her tank top was possibly found. Well, what do you say possibly what? Because she was topless? They say it was possibly found at the scene down the road from Prosser Campground. Her tank top was possibly found at the scene. Who said that? The timestamp could be off due to camera clock being accurate or inaccurate. Oh, so I think they're saying it's the same day. Yeah, so 2 days ago, so I think this was put out yesterday, so it was 2 days ago. And I think they actually are referring to the 6th. And you can tell because they wanted to make sure to throw in the camera could be off, so then we can add it into the story. Right? So it was at 1 something in the morning, and 12:33 the phone pinged at the campground, and it would take 2 hours to drive, so it's not really likely that that's it. Right? That that's her. Yeah, well, of course they're going to investigate it. Yeah. You send in a tip, they got to look it up. Now, if it turns out where all the stuff was wrong and the dates and times, and maybe, Oh, yeah. Facebook posts. Well, let me see an image of it. Now, send me a link, Amber, to one of the posts talking about the black tank top. Yep, thank you, Charles Tanimi. And also to TTJO, thank you. Watching your YouTube, I just wanted to suggest that maybe no one saw or noticed her leaving their car because she got into another car. If there were a group of guys, one guy could have given her a ride home and the other took her keys and drove her car. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of, we can come up with 1,000 scenarios, But, Debbie. Well, Debbie sent an email and said, let's see. Watching you on YouTube right now and just wanted to suggest that maybe no one saw her or noticed her leave in her car because she got into another car, maybe to avoid driving and drinking. Or drinking and driving. And it says if there were a couple guys, one could have given her a ride home and the other took her keys and drove her car. Well, of course, and then she said, hope that makes sense. Well, yeah, it makes sense. People at the party should report any girl that looks like her that gets into a different car also. Yeah, I think people would just know who she was mainly. I mean, although there was a whole bunch of people from out of town that don't know her. Suit the police wrote you just read. I don't know what that means. Yeah, well, we just saw the picture. Yeah, you're right. Like, yeah, how could that come off? Well, I guess somebody could have forced it off of her, right? I mean, if her tank top was off, that's why the... Well, like here's somebody showing, so they found this here, And then that's the picture. But see, to me, that looks like spaghetti strap, really skinny strap, and that looks a little thicker to me, right? Second. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be anything, right? Let's just kind of wait till more really solid information comes out, you guys. You know, all this other stuff is just, whew, man, who knows at this point. But nobody else is calling in, so I think I'm going to call it a night, man. 2 hours and 47 minutes, not too bad, not too bad. All right. So thank you guys for being here tonight. If you could hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, that would be awesome. And I didn't see anything about fog or anything like that. Why do you keep asking about that? I mean, you seem really focused in on the fog and mist and stuff. I mean, if you heard about it, I mean, you should go look that up. Type her name in and the word fog, and maybe it's on there. Well, I've been on there for 2 hours and 48 minutes, Zozo. There really isn't anything new to, you know, we just keep hearing about a bunch of rumor stuff. You know, that's when you get really bogged down, when you start having too many rumors to have to handle and then add into the story. You know, the tank top, the Ring doorbell footage. I was driving City of Truckee County, Placer Dirt Road. I was approximately 200 yards before Prosser Dam Road meets, headed north data, no homes. The item was in the middle of the road. That's where the tank top was. I found a black tank top on a rural part of Prosser Dam Road. Let's see where that is. Okay. That's Prosser Dam Road. How would the car have gotten over here? If we can just... See, this doesn't make... I mean, so here's one of the things. Like, I think the odds of that being the tank top are really low. It could be, but... I mean, here's the Prosser Dam Road, right? Does it go all around the lake, or... What's this one called? It's 89. Prosser Dam Road. Oh yeah, and then it goes way over here. So tell me how the car would have gotten on this road from over here. Let's see, is there a way to come down like this? Cross the water right there? You know, certain times of year maybe. Wind your way up through these other kind of wild looking things and somehow make it back over. Oh, they're right there. Then you get back on the road and then somehow her... I don't know. I was about 200 yards before Prosser Dam Road meets Boca Road. Okay, so I'll put this here and then do Boca Road. Wow, so this is way over here. And 200 yards before it meets it, so you're talking about over here then. Well, actually, I don't know. Oh, there's Boca Road. Oh, that's Boca. Huh, let me just type it in. Boca Road and Prosser Dam Road. There we go. Okay, it's over here. Right there, okay? So again, it's really wild because the campground's over here, and how would they get onto this road over here? I mean, they could have. You're here, you go there, you go down to the red here, you go up here. Well, not even that. You go to the red here, and then you take that exit, and you head up this direction, and 200 yards before. Where's Boca Road? Is that it right here? I think it is. Hold on. No, that's Prosser Dam Road. Prosser Dam Road. Yeah, that's up here, sorry. That was my original pin. So you're driving around, and then in this area, 200 yards before the tank top was found, maybe right in there. Let me do the measurement with the yards here. Oops. That's 200. So the tank top was about right there. Okay. I mean, you know, there is a tank top close to there. I'm just trying to figure out the logistics. I mean, I guess the person could have lived over here, and that's really the only way to do that, because driving this way, maybe there's no roads that cut across. So, you know, I guess there's always a possibility that that's related. And then she'd be topless, and then you got that other one in Sacramento, right? Okay, so it's been ruled out, you're saying, TTGL? Okay, well, that's where it was found. The straps are thicker on the... Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It didn't look like it was the same. Well, thanks, Blake Star. Yeah, well, we do this all the time. I mean, this is like what we do on the shows. You know, we map it out. Even the cold cases we work through. You know, you guys would be amazed. The articles back in like 1970, early 80s are so filled with information, stuff that you would never hear now. I mean, they give you everything. So we, you know, map it all out, and then you kind of theorize based on that. And it's usually pretty good, pretty accurate stuff. Yep, we saw it. Yep. Susanna. Okay. Anything else, you guys? Oh, cool. But you haven't been able to see it, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we can, you know, a lot of times you can actually go down to the street view. So the, you know, this little town here doesn't really have any street view, strangely. I mean, none up in these areas, but just kind of on the main roads. It's amazing, though, they have these little areas where somebody thought to take a 360-degree camera, like right there, you know. And right in this spot, it looks like you can look down right on the lake. Which is interesting, right? So you can go right here, and where was that pin? I saw it a minute ago. It was just a second. Darn it. I think I lost it. Yeah, right here. 360-degree camera, so slightly turned to the left, and there's the lake. Looks like the campground is right up in there. That picture she took was probably, yeah, I don't know. It's weird there's that picture she was taking, but it almost seems like she was over here looking back that way. I want to know how many people they've talked to that say they saw her at the party and talked to her. those people. That would be interesting. All right. So thank you guys, to Ken Brown, the Velvet Army with the PayPal. Thank you very much. These are all PayPal. Donna Scott, Charleston Amy, TTJO, and there's another one in here, and also Caressa Goodwin. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. She says, another night of investigating. Thank you, Gray, for always using logic and reason. Well, thank you. I'm glad there's people out there that actually like using logic and reason, you know? A lot of people don't like it. They like just being entertained with sensationalism. You know, I make people laugh from time to time, but other than that, I think I make people cry more than laugh, though. So thank you to Cindy Leon, Eugenie, Allie Cake, Sarita, Kathy Frydenmaker, Beth Calderon, Stacy. She said, thank you. Well, let me read this. So Beth Calderon said, thank you for promoting sanity versus insanity. God bless our law enforcement. Stacy said, thank you to all the wonderful things you do, Gray. You've made a positive difference for so many people, and thank you to the fantastic freaks. This is like a wonderful family, and I'm so happy to be here with you all. Love you all past the stars. And Candalee Woodward Stone received her tumbler, half rudder, perfect situation for predator, young, inebriated girl. She could have been convinced to let one drive her home. Yep, see, that's similar to what we've been saying. Then S. Jab, you're a good man, they said. Well, thank you. And then, let's see. So, Pud Money. Oh, wait. So, we got Candalee Woodward Stone, Mrs. Ryan, Half Rudder, S. Jab, Pud Money 827, Paula Durbin, Crystal, a.k.a. Beaver Gaming, sub Crystal, the longest name in YouTube history. Allie Cake, Freebird Forever, Jiggy England, classical guitarist, Tiffany May, and Lanky Tor, Brown Almighty, right? Isn't that what it used to be? Yeah. Okay, so we'll see what goes on tomorrow. If there's a lot of new information or more pieces of the puzzle, we can do a reset, put them back in there, go back over it again. But when I have call-in shows, you guys should make sure you call in, you know. Hey, thanks, Papa Q. Okay. So, hey, by the way, if you're watching the show on replay right now, thank you for watching. Except this is at the end of the show. I did say that earlier, too, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. If you'd like to help support the channel, there's the super thanks, or just hit the like button, share, subscribe, whatever the hell you feel like doing. That would be awesome. Thank you guys very much. Okay, so now we're going to do a spin. We're going to do for my new box of notebooks is coming, by the way. Alright, so tonight we're going to do a everything mug and 2 notebooks. Hey, thanks Kumari Azad. Thank you. Yep, so everything mug and 2 notebooks. So the first spin is going to be for the everything mug, all right? And And there it is right there. And our amazing mug spinning music. Now just listen to this for a little bit, you guys. I'm gonna go use the restroom. Oh yeah, everybody. This is everybody's favorite song in the world. I know it is. I've heard it mentioned many times on top 10s. I see you. All right, everybody, here is for the everything mug. Here we go, all right? Okay, here comes a shuffle and the spin. Oh boy, here we go, everybody. Oh, it could be Jiggy England. Does it get there? Oh, it's TTJO. TTJO gets the everything mug. Bam! What'd you win, Lanky Tor? You're crazy. Okay, I'm gonna wait. TTJO, you want the everything mug? You deserve one. For certain. All right, wait, hold on. So this is the notebook right here, you see? That's my drone training. That's not on there. But anyway, see that? It's the Grant Hughes Investigate notebook. All right, so that's what's coming up next. Huh? No, it's not greedy at all. What are you talking about? You won it, GTGO. Alright, so here we go. This is for the notebooks. Oh, look at that. Keeping it real. Keeping it real just won a notebook. So you have to send me an email with your address, and then I'll ship them off on the next batch. All right. Awesome. Okay, now we got one more to give out. Ready? So here we go. almost get to Cindy Lee. Oh! Wow, Cindy Lee was too. Hey, look at Stacy. All right, Stacy. I don't know if she's still watching. You still watching, Stacy? This is Stacy Galloway, the author. Okay. The author of the book, The Dyatlov Pass Mystery. Well, you won the notebook, Stacy. You won the notebook. So, yeah, just send me an email with your address on it. I don't store addresses because that's what crazy people do. I mean, psychos on the internet. Of course, you know, you might store mine because... Never mind. Now I can't answer. All right. Yeah, so send me your address. Boom! Spacey? She's anything but. The Discord link is, if you send me an email and you're a channel member, you know, then you have to sign in with your email and everything. It's pretty locked up at this point. Right. Okay, well, I think that's going to do it, you guys. So thank you all for being here tonight. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. And, well, if you guys find anything interesting, send me an email. Like, if it's actual information that seems reasonable. You know, not the crazy, well, I heard that her fifth cousin's aunt used to fly helicopters and they dumped garbage out a window one time, and one of the times it hit her in the head, and then after it hit her in the head, this one guy... Yeah, I don't really want to, you know, go through the crazy... All you got to do is just, you know, stuff that makes sense, factual. You know, sometimes you have to rely on, if a family member says something, it's probably going to be true. You know, or at least it's something that they believe is true while they're saying it, you know. So that's it, everybody. Thank you very much. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. All right, bye-bye.
Hey, Gray, is that...
Yeah, I've been doing this true
Is that
crime
Lori?
for quite a while now.
Yeah, it's Lori.
And during this
Lori
whole time,
D-Bell.
I have not seen one person.
Notice the red lips and the blonde hair.
Crime
Well, everybody has red lips. What happened to the music there, Gray?
Lie detector, gonna get ya on a stretcher. If you try and play me like a little projector, crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a slacker with a vector on his packer with all respect. Just what the hell's wrong with you, Mary Lou? You sound like a crazy person.
No agenda. I'm just trying a new sound.
And I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
How would you shut the hell up, Mary Lou? Every single show, at the end, you pretend that everybody was here just waiting for you to come out with your crappy ass singing.
What do you think, Gray? I think so hard. I'm so hard tonight. Just ask anybody.
Wow, are you okay?
Yeah, just smoked a couple cigarettes tonight.
Well, what kind did you smoke?
Yeah, the ones with Retsin, the diet cigarettes.
Oh, yeah, those new diet cigarettes. Wow, okay. All right, you have yourself a great evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And be safe out there.
Be safe out there. Gosh, Gray, I don't like you.
Well, same here, okay? All right, good night. Bye. Wow.
You two, you guys are crazy.
They really are, John Boy. They're absolutely nuts.
That's what I said.
All right. Wow, Blue's trying. You guys should. I wish the camera was on Blue right now. He knows he's in trouble because he needs to get his teeth brushed, but he's walking as slow as possible. His legs are like in absolute slow motion. I was wondering if he sped that up, if it would look like he was walking normally. Anyways, all right, see you guys later.
Gosh, Gray, what a waste of time that was. Nobody cares about that story. Jeez.
Yes, they all do. They love him. All right, see you guys later. Bye.